Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The Friday edition. Wait, where is Tausch? We're in the same city, but we're not together edition. There must be a quick trip near wherever he is edition. And I don't know, I know I ask a lot of obvious questions a lot of times. I think Tausch may have asked the most obvious question in the history of the show edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com. And the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And also in Green Bay, apparently in some sort of office. So I don't know if he's gotten a second job. He's collating papers, making copies. He is the Packers Hall of Famer, Mr. Pickler himself. He is Mark Tauscher. Tauscher, good morning. What the hell's going on out here?
What are you doing? Good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. We'll get to your obvious question in a second. What are you doing here? And was it so bad at the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Experience Center doing a show in person that you could not possibly bear to do two of them in the same week?
No, I would have, but I didn't want to inconvenience Jesse and do something at the trio, and I didn't want to inconvenience you. You've already been out the house once this week, so you were not going to be able to leave. I could not do the show from your house, or I would have thought that route. But,
legally?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's legal and what's
some
not.
sort of no trespass order
show at
against
his
you?
house before.
I have, yeah. I enjoy it. Yeah, but
never again.
Today, as Jesse knows, I'm going to be taking a small break from 10:15 to 10:20. I'm doing something up here with Sarah that I'll talk about on Feelgood Friday. So I will be taking a break, and obviously I needed to be in a certain location to be able to pull this off. So that's why I am in Green Bay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
All right, good.
So that's a tease for Feel Good Friday that you're here in Green Bay doing something
Friday, yes.
good. You're doing good in the world.
Yes.
Sarah is, and you're coattailing her. But either
that's
way,
probably a more fair assessment of what's happening. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay. So,
and ironically enough, it has to do with cooking, which to bring this thing all full circle, it has to do with cooking. So again, we'll get into that. I'll be more than happy to share, especially after we do all of this, the stuff that we're doing. We had a nice event last night. have another little thing here this morning. I went over to the Pickler in Green Bay last night, full courts, full heart. So everything was great. Everything's been great up here. I'm going to spend about not even 24 hours up here, and we're going to get a lot done in that 24-hour window.
Full courts, full hearts, can't lose. The Pickler. Okay. I see there's a TV camera behind you and a light. Are you on television today?
Yeah, I'm on television every day, baby. We do a TV show too.
Well,
Come on, Jason.
The light's not on you currently. The light is in the background and turned off.
Yeah.
So,
That's
all right.
another
It's a high-quality TV production we have here.
Clearly, yes. All right. I really want to play Guess Where Tausch Is. You've got the entire greater Green Bay Metroplex to try and figure it out. But instead, we will figure out the answer to perhaps the most obvious question in Wilde and Tausch history.
Okay.
And that question is this. Is Mason Crosby the greatest kicker in Packers history?
Yeah.
Now, he recently...
That's a great question, Jason.
Or Tausch. He recently... I love the way the Packers announced this now, by the way. Mason Crosby has informed the Packers of his intent to retire as a Packer.
What is what's funny about that?
He has informed the Packers. The Packers didn't invite him to do it. He has informed the Packers, and they do it for everybody.
The Packers are like, we don't know what this guy's doing, but here's what he said.
They did it for Bulaga. They did it for Jordy. That's how they handle these honorary retirements.
Okay.
Did you do any sort of honorary retirement? Because we know the Packers chose to retire you after the 2010 season. How did that? They cut you.
Yep.
There was no ceremony. It was unceremonious, some might say.
It was actually on top. It was very unceremonious, but that's. I could still probably retire. I have never officially retired. I mean, I wrote a little thing in the Journal Sentinel back in the day, thanking fans and whatnot when I knew my career was over, but I have never retired. So maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring. Yeah, maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring and retire.
Okay. Well, you'll get to do a press conference, and I know you love the media because you're not part of it. You're an analyst. So he informed the team of his intention to retire as a Packer earlier this week. He's doing a press conference today at Lambeau Field where he will be available to discuss his career with reporters.
Okay.
And you wondered if he's the greatest kicker in Packers history.
Yes.
Is there any other possible answer? Like Chris Jackie kicked in a Super Bowl also, but...
Well, Jan Stenerud is a Hall of Fame kicker, correct? Did he not make the
who
Hall of
spent
Fame?
most of his career elsewhere, though.
No one's picking Jan Stenerud over Mason Crosby.
So here's the deal, and why I sent that to you guys is on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning, Vinny and Eric asked me if Mason Crosby was an NFL Hall of Famer.
Well, no.
And I think the answer is I was surprised. That was, to me, very few kickers make it into the NFL Hall of Fame. And Mason Crosby is the best kicker in the history of the Green Bay Packers. He's the highest scoring kicker.
All-time leading scorer, yep.
I don't know percentage-wise. Obviously, he had a couple of hiccups throughout the years. But you can make a really good argument. In the Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews era, I think those would be your two guys that you would errorize it. And then I don't know if you put Charles Woodson in there. Like, it's a tricky era to kind of cement down. Mason Crosby's in that era. You put him in that same vein as far as it was obviously quarterback is always going to get it.
But
I don't think Mason is far off. You can make a really good argument that Mason Crosby would be second in that era's list. So, yes, he is the all-time – I think he will be the all-time kicking leader for a long time in Packers history. He's not going to get his number retired. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Maybe I'll be wrong.
Packers Hall of Famer for sure.
Oh,
but not a Pro Football
Packers.
Hall of Famer. Correct.
No, and that was what Eric and Vinny asked me, and that's what got me to think, was there anyone that was better? And I went into the Packers Hall of Fame with a great kicker in Ryan Longwell.
You did.
But I think Ryan would even tell you that Mason's career is longer, and he had probably – but that's kind of where we're at with Mason. And I think when you look at it, you could make that argument. In the Rodgers era, who was the second most impactful Packer? I'm talking from 2009 till 2022. Is it Davante? Is it Jordy? Mason was there the whole time. Just a question I have. I don't know what the answer is.
Okay, that's a different question than what you asked, but that's a good question.
I put that down on the tech because it literally was. I knew that this wasn't going to be some monster debatable question. It is what it is.
So you've now reconsidered your question and altered it.
Jason, this is how things go. You go through a chain, and then you get to where you think something is super informative. Who would you say? You've covered the team. I've been analyzing it for the last 10, 12 years, whatever it is. Who is your number two in the 2009 to 22 Rodgers era? Who is number two besides the
not the jersey
number?
Right.
Correct.
So can you do that with a kicker? Because here's the issue. Obviously, from a tenure standpoint, he's it. Mason Crosby is it. He actually joined the team in 2007, which would have been Rodgers' third season on the roster. He was with Rodgers the entire time. They both had their final seasons with the Packers in 2022. But, do the Packers win a Super Bowl without Charles Woodson? Do the Packers win a Super Bowl without Clay Matthews? Probably not. Right? Jordy Nelson, vital to that. The problem is, how do you differentiate length of tenure from impact?
That's why it's an intriguing question.
It is much better than the one that you posed in our text chain. So if we're looking at impact, he is Rodgers.
What was
I would
that?
say that was me hitting my. It was me hitting my wedding
drum?
ring on the.
You got a band? You moving
microphone.
all that gymnastics equipment out of there to form a band?
I am. I'm going to play the triangle.
Super
yeah,
annoying.
But you're not at all.
Good one. Today? No, I know you love pinning me as being curmudgeon-y. Not being curmudgeon-y or anything today.
A lot of ball game left.
You keep picking at me. I'm sure you'll.
I'm picking at the pickler. Yeah, I'm picking at the pickler.
He'll come over there and find you.
Full courts,
wherever
full
you are.
I agree.
Rodgers, Woodson, Matthews.
No.
Yeah.
It's got to be Matthews ahead of Woodson. We love Charles on this show, but he was there longer. And come on. Clay Matthews as a Packer compared to Charles Woodson as a Packer?
Was he a depoy as a Packer?
No. Did he go in 14 selflessly go into the middle of the field and change the entire defense? Was he one of the best pass rushers we've ever seen in Green Bay? Did he have a longer career in Green Bay? He did. No, he did.
So he was drafted in 2009. What was his final season?
18 or 19, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, Charles Woodson was fully prepared to be a Packer for just as long, and Ted decided not to have that be the case. Didn't even offer him a chance to take a pay cut. But he was a depoy. He had some of the greatest moments in Packers history.
You have it as the Rodgers-Woodson era. That's what you're saying.
So I literally put Woodson one peg above Matthews. It's not like I put Matthews 12th.
No, I agree.
And as much as we love Mason, I can't put him like. What game-winning kicks did he have?
Dallas.
During the Super Bowl run, because the three guys I just put in front of him all were more critical to the actual Super Bowl winning title. Now, obviously, the clutch kick in Dallas in 2016 gets them to the NFC Championship game, and then they have Ladarius Gunter covering Julio Jones and Gooch playing guard.
I've heard of that before. Huh?
So, Jason, it seems like you're having a I want impact in short bursts compared to longevity.
Well,
is that what I'm reading?
In fairness
from
to
you?
Woodson, he comes in 06. He's there 06, 07, 08, which are 3 years that you're not allowing to count because they weren't when Rodgers, although one of the years was when Rodgers was the starter.
We can go 08 till. We can go 08 till 22. The Rodgers era. Who are his main sidekick? Who are you putting? You only get two. It's Huey Lewis in the news. Who is the news?
Right, the news is like 5 guys.
He could have a
They're
right
a band.
He could have a right-hand man and a
Simon
left-hand man.
Who's Garfunkel?
I kind of like Huey Lewis in the news best. Also, what do you do at wide receiver? Is it clearly Jordy? Like, is that a slam dunk that it's Jordy?
No.
Yep. Can't wait to play Yerp or Nerp later in the show.
DOA. We got approval from Eleanor to kill it last night. DOA.
I didn't get to state my case to her, though. Seems unfair.
I'll speak for her. She doesn't care.
Oh, okay. Thanks for speaking for her. All right. Well, we will put this question in the field. So you're putting...
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I can't put a kicker there. I can't. But when you start factoring everything into it, and then you see what happened when Mason left and the blank show that ensued, I think we always underrate or don't think enough about kickers when you don't have to until you have
Until
to.
you don't have one. Right. Yeah,
Exactly.
until you don't have one. My question for you, Goody Stan.
Gosh, I don't know if I can put Charles ahead of Matthews. I don't know. This is not easy.
Oh, you seem
anybody.
conflicted. Yeah.
I'm very torn. I'm imbrogliated.
Yes, Natalie. Given the Goody Stan that you are,
Yep.
Mason Crosby, if I recall correctly, had a very, very, very good season in 2022.
He did.
After they got rid of Corey Bojorquez, who I had one NFL kicker tell me is the worst holder they've ever worked with. And it wasn't Mason Crosby.
Oh, snap.
So Mason Crosby's difficult season in the previous year.
We've proven Jason doesn't cover any other team, so it's got to be
Got a text back from John
kicker.
Dorsey today, by the way, updating some of the opinions from earlier in the week. So I don't know.
What's that kid's name? Remember Jesse with one of the all-time bad takes? He had that kid beating out Mason, and Mason doesn't have a podium presser.
Yeah, Sam Ficken.
Yeah.
Sam Ficken still kicking somewhere or not?
I don't think so, no. My question is, as the Goody Stan that you are, was getting rid of him when he was still clearly at the top of his game, and then you unexpectedly are in an NFC divisional playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers with the lead in the second half, and you're trotting a guy out there to kick a 41-yard field goal, and he misses it. Did Goody, in his rush to go young, prematurely move on from Mason Crosby, and should he still be the kicker today?
He should not still be the kicker today, but to answer your question without me annoyingly asking you a question back before I answer, he did. That was a misstep. I think he wanted a clean slate. He didn't want to pay a kicker $5-6 million a year. It was more, let's let Anders grow and we'll have our next quarterback kicking combo that has worked so well in Green Bay. And all of a sudden you snap your fingers and you're in an NFC divisional game with a game on the line and you didn't have the guy there. And that was a faux pas by the Gutekunst. So yes. And I don't remember what I'm sure Ned, who is a fan of the show and gives me a lot of grief about my Goody stand-em. There you go, Ned. Goody was wrong. Now, in the same breath, Goody fixed the problem. It just took him a while.
I would be curious.
Well, you can't, Jesse. Did you get your furnace fixed and like snapping your fingers? You have to call people. They have to come over, assess it, and then go through the process to get you a new furnace, right? Isn't that how
replacing
that
a kicker is like fixing a furnace?
It came together pretty quick, actually.
Somewhat, yeah.
Did you wait around?
Oh my God!
Don't need no furnace replacement here. Look at that, 60 Almost 70 degrees. I like it a little colder, a little chillier in my undisclosed location.
The question that I have is, are those windows Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin that you're next to? Because I believe tomorrow is the 8th of March.
The Ides. The Ides
no,
of March,
that's not the Ides.
Well, you could accomplish
some
a lot
might,
in
but
6
just you.
years. Just ask Charles Woodson. He accomplished a lot in 6 years in Green Bay. A lot of people do. You can go from changing diapers to dropping off your kid at school. And you get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. Your whole life can change. And your life can change when you get brand new Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and can even change that much for the better. All the cost savings and 0 interest for 72 months. I got the thermometer flopping around. Everybody's excited about this deal, and it is, you got a day left. Let's get moving. 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors will be secure for years to come. Certain restrictions apply on this offer. It didn't go all week. It's going to go till tomorrow, March 8th. Set your free in-home consultation today, again, for 0% for 6 years / 72 months. Go to PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We got a great view of your paper as you were reading that.
You can read backwards. You could have read it along with him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. It was
Any of my notes?
Front and center right there. Yeah.
Oh, you read it
It's in
backwards like that.
much better shape than the Coors Light read. All right, Tausch is in an undisclosed location drinking his Quick Trip Karuba coffee.
Hazelnut.
Are you at a football stadium?
No.
All right,
what are we playing, 20 questions?
Well, that
That's
answers a lot of the guesses from the YouTube comments so far. So you are not at a football stadium.
Are you within
Definitely
a mile of Lambeau Field?
I don't know math.
That's not really math. That's distance.
I'm a metrics guy, so give it to me in metrics.
Are you less than 2 kilometers from Lambeau Field?
Potentially.
Yeah, let me tell you. I know where you are, and he is. So there's your answer. We will spend more time with Tausch at his undisclosed location.
Why do you know? And how do you know?
Because I'm a reporter. That's what I do.
Jason's been there
Your investigative journalism will take no bounds, right?
He's not at the Pickler. He was there yesterday for full courts, full hearts. That ball was out. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
I just don't know what to believe right now. I don't even, we've obviously gotten after Corbin a little bit. Well, not we, you.
Let me tell you something. You haven't exactly been saying Corbin's nailing this thing either. He said that old boy wanted to trade in Seattle, and Green Bay was going to give up his first-round pick for him. That was the part that got me. DK Metcalf could be traded all day. I never argued with that.
Well,
and
I mean,
if
he
Green
reported
Bay
that
gives a first-round pick, as I told you yesterday, apologies to Corbster.
That was not his initial report. In fairness to Corbin, was not that the Packers were going to give up a first-round pick. That was subsequently what the Seahawks were asking for.
And that's when I said something. I didn't say something initially. Nothing.
So now I have Big Matt's Blatz on Twitter sending me a tweet from NFL Talk, which, according to this person's bio, they are an independent reporter providing accurate analysis. News,
I love accurate
stats,
analysis and
trades, signings, and highlights from around the NFL.
I have no editors, no one checking my work, and I am accurate.
In today's media landscape, is there anything better than accurate and independent? Love both. Love it.
I am an accurate, independent producer of Wilde and Tausch.
Yeah, just because you say you are.
Jesse, why were you pushing? So you said that Wanakee won going away last night in girls hoops too, right?
They won by 10. Yeah. It was tied at 28 at halftime. It was a very competitive game.
We got a good one.
11-1 run in the early stage of the second half. Helped propel the Warriors to victory. Sets up a big one with Arrowhead tomorrow afternoon on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Oh, fun.
Trip to
you
state
doing
on
that
the
one too?
I will be there with the Dean. Yeah.
Look at you grinding. But you had Bowl Stream TV
That's
this weekend,
on Sunday.
Too.
Big weekend.
What a warrior.
Yeah.
Better rest your voice.
Next week? Yeah, you got to take a couple days.
So if I could circle back before we get back to Charles Woodson versus Clay Matthews in a conversation that we could be holding in 2012, I am curious what to make of this.
Okay.
Update from NFL Talk independent journalist. The Packers have been in on wide receiver DK Metcalf from the jump and continue to be in serious trade talks with the Seahawks, per league source.
Okay.
Multiple teams have been reaching out, and Seattle will look for the best deal available. Now, I would say looking for the best deal available seems like a pretty good idea.
Well, that's what Nico should have done in Dallas, but instead he just gave the Lakers a championship, and now that's a whole nother story. But
so what should I make of NFL Talk's report? Because that would further support Corbin's contention that there had been talks between the Packers and the Seahawks even before this all came to light from DK Metcalf's perspective a few days ago.
Yeah, I mean, if Corbin nails this, kudos to Corb. If the Packers give up a first-round pick, I'm not even going to force the third-round pick that was also mentioned in Corbin's report, and the Packers pay DK Metcalf a new contract, I'll be shocked. I will be shocked. Now, I'll be surprised if they make this trade and give him that Bonko contract, but I won't be shocked. Shocked will be giving up the first pick, or their 23rd pick in this year's draft, and paying him. That will shock me. Who knows? I mean, I guess if you want to be urgent and you want to show that sense of urgency to your team and to your fan base, this will do it. I don't think this would be a great move if that's what happens, and Corbin and NFL Truth Media, or whatever they're calling themselves, is accurate.
NFL Truth Social.
If that's the case, Jason, you and I will both have to apologize, because we both will be very wrong on our assessment of how Goody looks at this operation. But I guess the question I have is, where is DK Metcalf fit as number one wideouts? Where would he rank as a number one wideout out of 32? Because I don't even know if he was the number one guy at Seattle last year. I think he was, but it wasn't like, Seattle sitting there. If he was the dominant guy that we all think, and again,
they wouldn't be trading him.
The quarterback scenario, they wouldn't be trading him. So is he a top 15 number one wideout? Maybe. I haven't thought through it deeply enough. He would be the number one on Green Bay's now, no doubt.
Well, how about this? How does this grab you? The Seattle Seahawks wide receiver numbers last season, as we have said earlier in the week, 66 catches for 992 yards and 5 touchdowns for DK Metcalf. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 100 catches, 1,130 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
So I got to scrap that. He ain't the number one.
Are you giving up a first-round pick for a guy who wasn't even the number one receiver on his own team?
So, Corby, you're telling me that the Packers are going to give up the number 23 pick in a draft they're hosting and have to pay a guy $30 million to come in? That was your number 2 wideout for Seattle last year? Yeah, listen, man. Doncic. I can't say it would be the craziest thing. It's not to the Doncic degree, but it's not far off of Doncic. It's not Doncic, but it's close to Doncic. If this happens, and right now there's a lot of spinning.
A lot of
the tampering
speculation.
Period is coming. Carolina is interested. Seattle wants to trade him. Okay. Seattle's going to probably trade him. They may get a first. I'll be shocked if it's Green Bay's first, and I'll be shocked if anybody gives up a first. Now, maybe it's a pick swap type scenario.
Well, that worked out very well the last time.
If you swap out picks and then maybe a fifth, maybe there's something. But I'll be very, very surprised if the number 2 wideout for Seattle garners that much. Then you really wonder Debo, and there's all these other things that play into it, but it would be shocking if Green Bay gives up the 20. I'd be shocked if they give up their second-round pick, if I'm being honest with you. I'd be surprised by that, too.
These men were selected in the first round by the Green Bay Packers during the Brian Gutekunst era. This is how he has exercised his first-round picks.
Traded with Seattle for Jair.
Jair Alexander, Rashawn Gary, Darnell Savage, Jordan Love, Eric Stokes,
Stokey,
Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, and Jordan Morgan. How do you view his track record in the first round at this juncture?
You got a franchise quarterback out of it, it's a home run. Period. I know everybody's going to disagree, but you have a corner that was Depoy and you paid him a fat second deal. You have a defensive end / outside linebacker edge type that you just paid a second deal to and you feel good about. Plenty of people are going to say it was a bad move, and fine, you can. Goody didn't think it was a bad move, or you don't re-sign him. Period. Thin. So you're talking about 3 players out of that group that have gotten extensions in a big way at the top of their market or right there. So you're 3 out of 6. Hey, Major League Baseball's pretty dang good. Football, you want to be better. And it's not like these other guys are bums that they can't play. Devontae Wyatt's shown sparks. Has he been the best first-round draft? No. But it's not like he hasn't made some impact plays and done some stuff. He ain't a bum. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. You could say, if you take Jordan Love out of it, I'd probably say a C+. But when you have a franchise quarterback that you're paying and you feel like he's going to lead you to a championship, I don't know how you go any lower than a B+, A-. I just don't. Because I'm looking at all these other teams. How many franchise quarterbacks are there? Really?
Right. Again, in fairness, no, I said right that time. I intentionally did not say yep.
Right, Wildy?
Exactly. But Jordan has not proved conclusively that he's going to be. When you say franchise quarterback, that doesn't mean you're going to be the starter for 6 years, but you're not really going to accomplish the ultimate goal, right? Like franchise quarterbacks, you got to get to championship games, you got to get to Super Bowls. We'll see if he does that. But as of now, he hasn't done it. But you feel really good about what he's capable of doing. So I give him the other side of that is 2020, you're playing in an NFC championship game. Maybe had you not gotten your quarterback of the future, you'd have gotten somebody that would have helped you right away. That's been an age-old argument about that draft. So, again, I'm not interested in grading him. I'm just saying he doesn't have a track record.
You're not interested in grading him. You just asked me for a grade.
No, I did not ask you for a grade. I asked you how you viewed it.
Jesse.
Check the tape. The bottom line is that his track record with number 1 first-round picks is not star-spangled awesome. But you still don't want to be giving away your first-round pick for a guy that you are going to have to pay an inordinate amount of money to. I just don't like it. I can't believe this.
2 wide receiver on the Seattle Seahawks.
What I just and this is not a slight on NFL Talk, independent journalist, or on Corbin Burnson Smith.
Sounds.
It's not. It's not.
But it sounds like it's going to be.
It's going to sound like it, but it isn't because it's
We'll find out.
It's not questioning their acumen. I just can't believe that Goody is going to do this. Like, it just feels so un-Goody-like.
Yeah.
For a guy who wants to have more draft picks, that's what I wrote about today at Channel 3000. In order to do this, he's going to have to give up draft picks, which he just got done saying how much he wants more of them. So that I just have a hard time believing he would actually do. But, hey, maybe not. We'll have to wait to see what Goody does. And if this trade happens, you and I will both be legitimately surprised. There's no two ways about it. I will say that I was wrong.
And just for the record, before I get to prize picks, Diana Rossini and I think Josina Anderson both, I think, have put reports out that the Seahawks are getting a lot of pushback on their request for compensation.
I would hope so.
So, yeah, everybody can put their side of the story out, and that that game better than any. Well, no, you don't, but you would if you did that part.
If I played the game, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, playing the game, Prize Picks is the best place to play to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars, and it makes it accessible to everybody. And it is simple, more or less, on 2 players. Shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your game all season long on Prize Picks. You can play in more than 30 states. The app, again, it is simple to use. I think I'm gonna piggyback off of Jesse tonight. He's been hot. You can do that. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey and esports and much more. It's the best place to cash in on your sports opinions. Hey, you have an idea? You think that Doncic is going to continue to just keep rolling? Well, go more. It's pretty simple. Download the app today. Use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI. You know who's been good? Dollar Dame. Dollar Dame's been good. It's another one. Take a look at his projections.
Are you saying run your Dame?
That's pretty good.
Oh, snap.
You big ad-libber. The big ad-libber. Run your game, Dame. Exactly.
More Wilde and Tausch
no
straight ahead.
shame.
Stick around.
That ain't no shame.
Hall of Fame.
Can't be
On
blamed.
the air,
Don't be
on
late.
demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison Weight Loss Program that I experienced for 60 days last year from the middle of August to the middle of October. And I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat, and all I had to do was change my diet. Thanks to the expert coaching and guidance from the team at Madison Weight Loss, I was able to go well above and beyond the weight loss goal that I set out for myself at the start of the program. And it was easy. All you had to do was change your diet. No injections, no surgeries, no intense workout regimens. It was that easy. Just changing what you eat. It's amazing the difference you can make, not only in that 60 days, but then for the rest of your life. Spring break season's coming up. Summer's coming up. We were up at our cabin last weekend thinking about being out on the lake. You want to be looking good. You want to be feeling good. Lose the weight you set out for your goal at the start of this year by getting in touch with the team at Madison Weight Loss. Schedule a free consultation in person or virtually. MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
But I think Green Bay makes a ton of sense for Davante. But other teams will make a ton of sense for Davante.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
But when it comes to the pool of free agent wide receivers, no name jumps off the list for the Green Bay Packers and what they need now than Davante Adams.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Don's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious. Get plenty to eat and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The 25th Annual Madison St. Patrick's Day Parade is taking place on Sunday, March 16th at 1:30 around the Capitol Square. Join in for an afternoon of music, dancing, and family-friendly fun featuring two Grand Marshals this year, Amber Noggle and Brandon Taylor. Don't forget incredible acts like the Kissers, Bucky Badger, the UW Marching Band, and Madison Bagpipers. Donations make it possible. Huge thanks to our sponsors, JP Cullen and J&K Security. Save the date, spread the word, and be part of Madison St. Patrick's Day Parade.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
I'm so perplexed by this. I really want to know if Packers well, especially after checking the Seahawks numbers. Now, obviously, DK Metcalf is more of a big play receiver, right? I mean, he had only 200 fewer receiving yards on 34 fewer catches. So, obviously, he makes more big plays, whereas Jackson Smith and Jigba catches a lot of short routes, clearly, right? Mm-hmm. If he had 100 receptions and 1,100 yards. Yeah. But I'm struggling to wrap my head around this idea, and I have to, because if it happens, I'm going to look like an idiot, that Goody would actually do this, and that, there's too much smoke here from Corbin and NFL Talk independent journalists and Diana Rossini's reporting, etc., that there's not, at least the Packers, I feel like we could say with pretty much certainty, the Packers are interested. And I mentioned to you how Goody brought up DK Metcalf when he was talking about the 2019 draft, brought up Deebo Samuel. We ultimately took Elton Jenkins, he said. But DK Metcalf went past them. He went with the last pick of the second round. Yep. So I don't doubt at this point that the Packers are interested in acquiring DK Metcalf.
But, Jason, there's difference in being interested and going and getting him. And maybe it ends up being Seattle figures out, because at some point Seattle's going to come to grips with reality. And maybe a third-round pick is going to get it done. And would we all be shocked if it was a third-round pick for DK Metcalf? No. Now, paying him, if you're going to pay him, a big fat new deal, 4 years at $120 or whatever it's going to be, that's part of this equation too. And that means to me that Goody sees DK Metcalf in a different way than a lot of people do, including John Schneider.
Right.
So do I think that they would love to have DK Metcalf on this team? Yes. Did I ever think that it was going to be high draft comp? No. And here's the deal. You put yourself out, you go, and sometimes you're dead wrong. I'll be shocked if I'm dead wrong here, but we'll see.
So the question that I want to pose to our fans, and there are variables here. At what price is part of it? At what trade compensation is part of it?
Third round should be the highest any fan thinks we should go for him. And I think that's where Goody would be too. That is, I'm guessing that's where Goody is like, if this is what we have to do at the end, okay. But before that, a first and a third, I saw that report. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So do Packers want DK Metcalf? Do Packers fans want DK Metcalf or not?
I didn't.
At its core.
So, Jason, I put that out yesterday. I put a little tweet out, and a lot of responses about, who would you give up a first-round pick for? Because we had that debate yesterday, and we disagreed and differed a little bit on how people view it. But I don't think anybody responded. I think I had 100 and some odd last time I looked. I didn't have one person respond, give up a first and pay DK Metcalf. So maybe the poll will be different. I do not sense. I think there is we want to bring someone in that can help this group and help Jordan Love further his development quicker, more urgently. And if that's DK Metcalf, fine. But at that price point, nobody thinks that's a good idea. Maybe Goody will. And if he does, I hope DK Metcalf balls out and he looks like a genius.
844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Under what circumstances do you want Goody to trade for DK Metcalf?
No,
because
third.
And they're going to have to pay him, which maybe you're fine with. You got to pay him.
At what price point?
Well, but let's be clear. You can't say, yeah, I want DK Metcalf. Make him play out his final year of his contract and then see where he's at. That's not part of the equation.
We call that Reddicking. Reddicking it. It's not going to be good.
JJ Redick?
Hassan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're going to trade you, and we'll maybe do something with your contract. Well, we're not going to do anything with your contract. Well, I ain't coming. All right, and then I'm going to have a wasted year. You just got rid of a guy, didn't get in, you gave up a pick, and you didn't get jack. So that is not what we're going to see. If Goody does something with old boy, there will be a contract done before he makes that trade. I believe that.
He better insure carefully before he makes a move like that.
Indeed, and Packer fans, we're gonna keep that 23rd pick, and if we do, it's not going to be because we're getting DK Metcalf, unless I'm wrong. But I'll be dreaming of that ultimate draft day experience. Well, American Family Insurance will get you there. American Family Insurance Dream Draft Sweepstakes is your chance to win a VIP trip to the NFL Draft in Green Bay. You can imagine this. I'm not even going to ask you to close your eyes because it's beautiful out today. You and a guest. Exclusive tickets, hotel accommodations, custom merchandise, and much, much more. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you don't want to miss. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter today. No purchase is necessary. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
844-770-3776. Do you want DK Metcalf or not? And if so, under what circumstances? Do you believe that this is the move that Goody needs to make? I'm on the record. I said it on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning with Homer and Gabe. I want Trey Hendrickson and Davante Adams. Trey Hendrickson is 30. Davante Adams is 32. But it puts me
swap because you'd be getting a better pick. Let's pick swap Cincinnati. No, why the hell would we pick swap with you?
Davante Adams costs me nothing in terms of trade compensation and cost me less in terms of contract. Trey Hendrickson cost me trade compensation. I don't know how much. And I would think that I would be the appealing team to trade him to because it gets him out of the AFC, which is also worth considering, right? If you're the Bengals, do you really want to face him? I don't. Yeah. Same with DK Metcalf. I'd rather, if I'm the Seahawks, I'd rather send him to the AFC.
I think though, that mindset is shifted. People now are like, just give me the best players. We don't think he's as good as you do, so you go ahead. Work with him. We'll take – well, I mean, just look at what the Vikings, Detroit, Green Bay, they've all traded with each other, and they've said, we don't think Christian Watson's going to do it. We don't think Jameson Williams is the guy. Like, we've heard all of those things, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
844-770-3776. We'll get to your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
From the preps
and Will Garlock, the two-handed jam.
To the pros.
Dane takes it into the paint, lobs up top. Yes, slams it home.
The biggest games play on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here, and it's another Feelgood Friday on Wilde and Tausch. And coming up to close out today's show, we'll share some of our favorite Feelgood stories of the week, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. When you're ready to get started on your next paint project at home, I recommend you do what my family did and trust the pro painters at Holman Lindsay to get the job done right. To get connected with the perfect pro painter for what your project calls for, just stop into any Madison area Holman Lindsay location and ask. The team at Holman Lindsay will help find the best pro for the job. From winter snowstorms to the hottest heat in July, Holman Lindsay is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. That's what makes it Wisconsin's best paint. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. Check them out at holmanlindsay.com. And stick around for Feelgood Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A Badger takeover. Wisconsin fans roaring, "Let's go Badgers!" after Bucky's 74-67 win at Minnesota. Nolan Winter back in his home state, loving the chants. The sophomore big man on the moment during his appearance on the Jump Around digital show.
Going into the barn, we saw a sea of red kind of file in before the game, and we were loving it. So throughout the whole game, we were just trying to get them involved a little bit. And at the end of the game, when that "Let's go Badger" chant kind of broke out, we were loving it. We were just trying to feed into it a little bit.
Nolan Winter joins the Jump Around Thursdays at 1 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I took a page out of your favorite book. You sold me lies just by the way you look.
844-770-3776. God, I love reverse cam. Somebody else has got to go in there and work, though. It's empty now. In the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios.
Hunter Vaughn was working real hard. We had equipment all laid out. The camera wasn't working. I had to go reset it in there. So would have loved to show you that earlier.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for all the calls. I know we've got a bunch lined up. 844-770-3776. Are you in or are you out on DK Metcalf? Because there is too much smoke to say that there's no fire to the Packers' interest. Now, is it a towering inferno? Is it a little baby campfire? I don't know. Goody plays his cards pretty close to the vest.
Mm-hmm.
But where are you at as a fan? And what are the circumstances under which you want him? Because I do think that those matter. 844-770-3776. Let's start with the calls. Let's start with Chris in Muskego. Chris, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How is Jesse's hometown?
Muskego? It's all right. As far as Metcalf goes, I would like to see him with the Packers because he brings that over-the-top speed, and the only way he's going to get here is if the deal works for Goody and the Packers organization. I agree with Jason on the fact that I would love to have Davante Adams and the offensive line, or defensive lineman. To me, that makes more sense because you're hitting two positions. But I think last year is when Goody screwed up. Even though I love Goody. He makes a lot of good moves. He made two great moves in getting the two guys he did. But last year was the number one year he needed to get a veteran receiver. In Packers history, other than Sterling Sharp, Brooks, Jennings, and there's one more out there I can't think, Walker, I think it is, are the only receivers in their first and second year that were impact players. All the rest of them took 3 years, and to think he could come back and go to the replay and put these guys out there and think they're going to make these big strides when almost for the first half of the season last year they were still running the wrong routes. It didn't make sense to me. But having Davante come in, to me, is a guy who knows the Packers system. He's part of the Packers' history of when they were really super good. And I think he can teach them a lot more than what Metcalf did. So I think bringing in DA and Richardson makes a lot more sense than chasing after Metcalf because he can get you over the top, but it's going to take him a while to get any kind of knowledge of the offense, and I don't know how smart he is.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend. Thanks for the call, Chris. Good call. I don't know enough about DK. I know he runs really fast. I know he's chiseled like a Greek god.
What do you call it? What's his face? Body.
Well, they can't. Does this mean they can't bring back Eric Wilson because you can only have one body beautiful in your locker room at a time?
Still so weird that you guys do that.
It's not
so
me.
Weird.
It was Rich Bisaccia.
You're in it. You're in it. It's just weird.
I just relayed the nickname.
Love to. Well,
which no one is ever going to say about anyone on this panel, even Skinny Jesse. Quick text from Fred in Tosa. Then we'll get to more calls at the top of the 10 o'clock hour before Tausch departs for his briefly mysterious responsibilities that he has for charitable causes. DK Metcalf would be a great addition, but not at the cost of a first-round pick. If we can get Davante Adams at a cheaper cost, I would be good with that also. We can't give up the farm for just one player when we also have to consider that we need defensive help and offensive line help. Two, yeah, let's distill it down to this. If you get DK Metcalf for a third-round pick and you have to pay him $28 million a year, are you in or are you out?
Yeah,
You're in.
I think that's – no, I'm not in. I'm not.
You're not even in then?
$28 million a year? No.
I mean, I'm not either. So – it's not our money.
Part of the deal is I'm so in on Davante, I can't really be in until Davante's out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, again, Adam Schefter did say on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy earlier in the week, he doesn't think the Packers are Davante's first option, and he doesn't think Davante is the Packers' first option.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me, but Shefty knows. Shefty, I'm not gonna Corbin Shefty. Okay?
Corby.
Not
you're also not going to Corbin Quick Trip where you stopped this morning. I'm guessing right nearby your undisclosed location because I know there's a Quick Trip in the region.
You're such a nerd. Yes, I did stop over at Quick Trip because life is busy. Quick Trip gets it. And whether you're craving that fresh coffee that I grabbed this morning or a little bakery, grab-and-go meal, Quick Trip is your go-to. Old girl, as I was grabbing my coffee, said the pizza's on sale today. Pizzas are on sale. Don's 4 for $10. But wait, there's more because, of course, there's always more. Hot dog or hamburger buns from the Quickery, 99 cents a package. Nature's Touch Milk, $2.99. Urge chips and popcorn, 2 for $3.50. And soup. How about that big old bag of soup? $6.99 on Tuesdays. And I can't get through talking about Quick Trip without mentioning chicken. Roasted whole chicken on special for $6.99 on Mondays. Whether it's a quick bite or dinner on the go, Quick Trip's got it all covered. Use the app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. You get every visit, plus order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
Old girl. It was old girl Sarah who was with you, or was old girl
the
staff member at
staffer
Quick Trip telling you the pizza was on sale?
Yeah, as I was I just grabbed a coffee today. It's pretty simple. Grab the coffee.
No dunkers?
She was telling me about the pizzas. Pizzas for sale. So
yeah, well, when you have an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. All right. 844-770-3776. We'll get to more of your calls on DK Metcalf next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here, introducing Pizza Hut's new Ultimate Hut Bundle. Get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and your pick of breadsticks, cheese sticks, or cinnamon sticks with the perfect dip for only $24.99. You want even more? Upgrade to large pizzas or double your wings for just $5 each. Get the ultimate feast for the ultimate value, because this deal is too delicious to miss. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Senior Day tomorrow at the Kohl Center for the 12th-ranked Wisconsin men's basketball team hosting Penn State in the regular season finale. The Badgers need a win and some help to try to overcome and get a double bye to the quarterfinal round of the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis next week. Wisconsin enters play in a 3-way tie with Purdue and Maryland. Because of the tiebreakers, it actually comes down to the head-to-head record with Michigan as it stands right now. And that does not bode well for Wisconsin. So they're going to need Maryland and Purdue to potentially both lose this weekend in order to try and get that double bye. Nonetheless, Wisconsin-Penn State noon tip time tomorrow, televised, streaming exclusively one last time this year. Why not? On Peacock. Before the Wisconsin game, 20th-ranked Marquette also celebrating Senior Day at home against 6th-ranked St. John's. Great game in the Big East tomorrow, 11 a.m. tip at Fiserv Forum. Listen to it on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania tonight, boys basketball, regional semi, La Follette, and Bell Phillips Memorial.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins with more of your calls. Still trying to figure out exactly how to ask this in a tweet, sharing the YouTube links, because I think
you hit it, Jason. I think you hit it, because nobody is going to say give up a first and pay him 30. Nobody.
Right.
Maybe Goody. I mean, maybe the only guy that actually matters will do that as far as actually having something happen. I think your very fair assessment, because there is so much smoke, as you put it. If you said you have to give up your 3rd-round pick and pay him $28 a year over a 3 or 4 year deal, are you doing it as a Packer fan?
Mm-hmm.
That tells you, you know what, that question, will tell you everything you need to know. How you feel about this group and how you feel about DK Metcalf. That's really what you're asking. And I think that is a fair compensation if that's – I think it's high, but I think with all of the smoke, as you're putting it, I think that's about where this is going to land. And if that's the case, I'm still out. But I can understand why fans would be in it.
He's played 6 NFL seasons. He has never played fewer than 15 games in a season, so he's been durable. 1.
He's
2,
a beast of a dude.
He's never had fewer than 900 yards in a season.
That's good.
And I don't think the Packers have had anyone eclipse 900 yards in any of the last 3 seasons, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah. That ain't good.
So I think, yeah.
Why don't we just go get Jamar Chase and Hendrickson? Give up our that I'll give up our first 4.
Yeah, the last time the Packers had a wide receiver eclipse 900 yards for the season, Davante Adams, 123 catches, 1,553 yards, and 11 touchdowns in 2021. All right. Yes, go get Jamar Chase. Maybe you could trade Jair Alexander for him straight up.
Bonds and Griffey, too. Get them both.
844-770-3776. That's the Carbless talk and text line. Carbless, less is more. Let's talk to Eric in Green Bay. Eric, good morning, buddy. What's up?
Hey, guys. So kind of funny scenario here because, like, most Packer fans like myself for years, we had been wanting the team to make a big move like this and make a trade. And if you think back to us being seemingly linked to every possible trade target, now it's like, we'll pass. And I'm kind of in that boat, kind of looking at the pros and cons of it. When the one thing I think DK would really add is he would replace what we lost with Christian Watson with that over-the-top speed. But at the end of the day, you kind of look at the cost analysis, and it's like, would you rather have DK Metcalf or any of the receivers there's a bunch of quality free agent receivers right now, obviously Davante being the cherry on top, but you could have Davante Adams. You could keep your first round pick to address one of the holes, like defensive back, like shoring up that line, and you have more money both short term and long term too. Whereas, right, DK Metcalf at $30 million a year for 4 or 5 years, you need a receiver like Davante to be good for 2 to 3 years to get your money's worth out of that. You need DK to stay healthy and productive for a long time. So when it comes down to, would I rather have a receiver and that pick and that cap flexibility short and long term? Absolutely, and it's really not even close.
Yeah,
So Eric, before you go, 3rd round pick, 28 a year, 3-year commitment. Yes or no?
Ooh,
Metcalf.
If we're bringing it down to 3, I would say only in a scenario where it's kind of like you have like that Josh Jacobs out after a year or 2, and it's not super tough. But that's still a lot of money to allocate towards a receiver, and we have a lot of holes this year. I don't think our offense is DK Metcalf away from a Super Bowl.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I think the Russ Ballification of this would be signing bonus. And I would guess you'd be able to get out of it in 2 years. That's typically how Russ does his deals. So you never know, but that would be my guess.
What a good point. And thanks for the call, Eric. We appreciate you. What a good point that here we are always clamoring, and they got to make a big splash. They got to do something. And here the two of us and our fans sit, and we're talking about acquiring a top-flight wide receiver. Right? I understand the Jackson Smith and Jigba statistic, but still, DK Metcalf is a damn good football player.
Yeah, but that rocked you a little bit when you saw
it. Did. Yeah, I did not know the numbers there. That surprised me.
I saw you staggered. You were staggered.
But still, here we are talking about a top-flight player and acquiring him, and now we're like, no, I don't know about this. Maybe not.
There's a cost. Listen.
There is.
If you said Jamar Chase, if you said Justin Jefferson,
sure.
If you said CD Lamb, would you do this? I don't even know if I'd do this for CD Lamb. I don't know if I would. There are certain guys that you would. There's no doubt about it. DK Metcalf ain't that guy. No, he's just not. And that's not like to spite him. It just he is not worth giving up the first overall. The 23rd pick. That's my opinion. And the question that Eric asked is great. Are the Packers a DK Metcalf away from this offense exploding? I don't know. I don't think so. But it certainly would help to have a guy that could take coverage and do the things that he does. I think he would help this team a lot if you did bring him in.
All right. I know you've got your commitments at your undisclosed location. So we're going to keep taking calls while you go about your business.
We can do one more call if you have a second. I got a little bit yet. So one more call.
I was told 10:15. I was ready to get you out at 10:13.
Okay.
So let's take one more call because old T said so. And let's get more calls, too. 844-770-3776. Let's go to Tim in Hales Corners. Tim, you get old T before he's got to go wee, wherever he's going. What do you got for us?
So, good morning, gentlemen. First of all, I think the whole Davante Adams ship has sailed. Like, the stars would have to align perfectly for him to come back. I just think that thing's done.
Okay.
As far as the Metcalf thing, if it's a third and you have to pay him $25 to $28 million a year, I think that's the price of doing poker. I think you have to do it. Tausch have said for the last week that Christian Watson was a difference maker. DK Metcalf is that guy. He's a difference maker. He can take the top off. And now, if it means you don't sign as many people in free agency, Goody's got to weigh that. However, if people are clamoring we didn't have a guy who's a true deep threat, I think you have to do it. He makes your offense better. Does he get you to the Super Bowl? He gets you a hell of a lot closer than where you are right now. And Christian Watson isn't coming back this year.
Well, I saw him running on the treadmill yesterday.
Wait, at the local Y? Were you running next to him?
No, not at the local Y, but at I saw him post something on. He said he's going to be ready to go sooner than Jason Wilde. He didn't say your name, but he was talking to you.
Uh-huh.
And thanks for the call. Who knows if Christian wants to be ready, but if you think he can be that impactful, 3 years, 28.5, that is the price of doing business. He's right. That is.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Just like pick too.
Just like paying Jordan Love as much as you pay Jordan Love is the cost of doing business right now in the league at quarterback. All right, we'll keep going with the calls. And then Tausch will rejoin us when he's available. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. More of our conversation about acquiring DK Metcalf. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucs game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucs in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus audio network. Find it now on bucs.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson from Madison Weight Loss. I'm here in studio with Gideon. Gideon, thanks so much for being here. Why did you join the Madison Weight Loss program?
I was struggling with weight. Finally, I reached out and they assured me that, this works. And so I decided to join the program, and I am really glad I did.
Hey, I'm glad you did too. How much weight did you lose?
I have lost a little over 50 pounds, and I did that in a 60-day program.
Wow, 50 pounds is a great number. Besides the weight, what changes have you seen in your health?
The three major changes that I have seen is acid reflux, heartburn, and better quality of sleep.
That's all awesome to hear. I also had a ton of success losing weight with Madison Weight Loss. What helped you be most successful working with this program?
The accountability through the tracking app that they have. You learn to eat much healthier, and at the end of it, you feel very satisfied.
And last one for you, Gideon. What would you tell someone like us who has a weight loss goal in mind and wants to think about working with the team at Madison Weight Loss?
Do it. It's absolutely worth it.
Schedule a free consultation in person or virtually at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
We're on the Badgers.
This is my concern, and it's not his fault. They just settled for shots.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And if you settle for shots, Tanjay specifically, that's going to hurt.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run, and the radio never turns down. He's got a pedigree that's no good for nothing, no commas in his bank account. But there's a girl at the hole in the wall where he plays. Don't take her eyes off the stage, she loves his southern drawl from north of Atlanta. That Silverado he got parked outside loves it.
844-770-3776. I want to keep going with calls. 844-770-3776. But in the interim, let's get to a couple of text messages. The question is on Twitter, and I phrased it this way just because I did think that we needed some parameters. Because are you in on DK Metcalf if he costs you a 5th-round pick and you got to pay him $21 million a year? Of course you are, right? That's peanuts. So I think we all agree that giving up your 1st-round pick should be a non-starter for Goody. So our current conversation, if it costs the Packers, say, a 3rd-round pick instead of the number 23 overall pick, and $28 million a year, are you in or out on a trade for DK Metcalf? That's the question. Where are you at? I know this sounds ridiculous, but I think I'm still out. And is that my feeling for Davante Adams coloring my judgment? Is it the fact that Davante Adams cost me no draft picks that's coloring my judgment? DK Metcalf is 5 years younger than Davante. He's 27. Davante is 32. 5 years is a long time in the NFL. I'm open to being wrong on this, but I think I'm still out. What are you as a Packers fan? 844-770-3776. What do you got, Jesse, on the text portion of the carbless talk and text line?
So, first of all, for those of the I'm going to put myself up here, even though Tausch is unable to be seen here at his mysterious location.
Great angle, though. And he's still connected?
Yeah, he's still connected. He's doing great. Yeah, whatever he's up to.
That's just
mysterious.
Weird. It's on the whiteboard.
I'm not going to count We have this scoreboard that I like to put up when we do questions like this on the video stream, which I think is pretty fun. But all the YouTube dwellers want to be mad about something, even on a fantastic Friday like this. And they say, how come our votes don't count on the scoreboard? How come only the calls and the texts count? Because I'm not going to go through 2 different video streams on YouTube and count every vote. I'm one person running the operation here. We're playing, if you want to chime in with a call or a text, that's the way we'll count your vote. We're not counting the YouTube comments.
Okay, you've stated your position very clearly.
Thank you. Now, Todd in Hartford texts in. Good morning, guys. Tausch says hi.
So friendly.
I'm out on DK for the terms, first or even a third and $28 million a year being discussed. Acquiring DK Metcalf doesn't make our receiving group better. He's a stud, but he's not a leader. To not get leadership for that cost is just putting a flash in the pan. I would rather get Davante as a free agent for $17 or $20 million, get the leadership, keep the draft pick, and use the money elsewhere for a couple of years.
Yeah. He makes a great argument. My question is this: is DK Metcalf not a great teammate? Does he have a history? Is he a diva? Like what? I guess I don't know enough about his behavior to be able to speak intelligently on whether or not there's a void of leadership that would be you'd be getting him for a big number, but not getting that aspect of his game. And I would also be curious. Goody had a chance to take him in the 2019 draft. He fell all the way to 64. 20 picks after, at number 44, Goody took Elton Jenkins. Now, I love Elton Jenkins. It was a good pick. He's a very good football player. I'd be curious how seriously he considered DK Metcalf at 44. When he was telling the story after the season about drafts and luck and everything else, and I asked him the question about, well, you traded back twice a couple years ago, and you still got Jayden Reed, but he could have gone after you traded back the way you did. And he used the example of the 2019 second round. We know he liked Drew Lock. He also said he liked Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel went before the Packers picked. Drew Lock went 2 picks to Denver before the Packers picked. They picked Elton Jenkins, and then 20 picks later, Seattle took DK Metcalf. Turned out to be a pretty damn good pick at the bottom of the second round. I'd be curious. The production, you've got 6 years of evidence now of him as a player, so that changes things. But, man, what is Goody going to be willing to give up to get him? All right, let's get to a couple more text messages, Jesse.
Here's one from John in St. Louis, home of Arch Madness, Missouri Valley Conference Tournament taking place this weekend. Big game tonight.
Go Braves.
John in St. Louis, a third and $28 million for Metcalf is a no-brainer yes for me. Goody stinks at third-round picks, and DK Metcalf is a stud. I guess that's one component of saying a third-round pick that we hadn't considered.
Well, the narrative, in fairness to Goody, the narrative has shifted a bit on the third-round picks, right? Because of Tucker Kraft, right? Tucker Kraft has been a fantastic third-round pick. Now, in fairness, Marshawn Lloyd and Tyron Hopper both had uneventful, non-impact rookie seasons as third-round picks. The 2022 third-round pick was Sean Ryan. He's a starter, which you couldn't say about the Jace Sternbergers of the world and Amari Rodgers. And there's no doubt that the third round has been a desolate area for most of Goody's time as the GM. I don't think that should factor in, though, personally. I pulled third-round pick out of the air because if Diana Rossini's reporting is right, which I think it is, the Seahawks are asking for a much larger trade comp than is realistic. So they're going to have to settle for less, much like one NFL executive suggested that the Packers should ask for a third-round pick for Jair Alexander and then settle for a fourth or a fifth. Or maybe they won't get anything for him and they'll just outright release him. Jesse, you got another text that you like?
I do. Oh, Tausch is here. Hey.
Who's back?
Hey, look at that.
Guess who's back? Back again.
How was it?
Awesome. Super fun.
Can't wait to hear about it later.
Yeah,
and not didn't take a lot of time either.
That's 10 minutes, right? About 10 minutes. That's what I told you I'd be. It is accurate. Let me tell you this. What I was doing is not the radio world where you can go and have blog on for 30 extra minutes. This is quick and bing, 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 bing type of deal.
And nothing started. And nothing started on fire.
Not that we know of.
And there happens to be a TV camera and light behind you.
Potentially. You do the math.
Interesting.
Detective
All right, Jesse, let's
on
get
the
to
case.
Rex in Exonia.
A lot of X's in Rex in Exonia. That's fun.
Rex and effects.
If the Packers can pick up DK for a third and $28 million a year, I'm in. The going rate for receivers isn't going down, and even after a 3-year deal, DK Metcalf will be 2 years younger than Davante is right now.
Right.
Maybe Goody is looking beyond this season and sees DK and Watson as dual threats over the top. That will open up the field for our boy, Tucker Kraft.
It's a great argument by Rex. Rex marks the spot there. If he's thinking longer term and he's thinking, okay, Watson will be back. We're going to want to keep him because we believe in him and he won't cost us as much because he doesn't have the production. And we can have DK Metcalf and Christian Watson, both burners on the outside, and maybe Jayden Reed in the slot and Tucker Kraft chewing it up like George Kittle across the middle. It's a pretty appealing idea. I like it. That one gave me... Rex, well done. Now I'm rethinking my position slightly.
I'm going to say this, Jason. This might sound crazy.
Probably.
I would rather go to San Francisco and try to grab Ayuk. His contract is done. He is available. San Francisco, basically everybody at San Francisco's got is available for the most part. And like you mentioned yesterday, that signing bonus is paid.
Yeah.
You have him signed up. Now he's coming off a knee, so I get all that. But
Indeed.
They were also in on the Ayuk sweepstakes, if I do recall, before Jordan Love got picked.
Yeah, he got picked one pick before him. Yep. All right, we'll keep going with your calls and your texts. I also want to get into the Trey Hendrickson being available because I think you and I are both smitten with him and intrigued by that possibility.
He doesn't wear gloves.
And what does that mean? What is that?
I just like it. I don't know. It's fun. It means he's tough.
Oh, is that what it means?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we like tough. Tough is good. So we'll get into that coming up because Trey Hendrickson has asked for the ability to and has been granted the ability to seek a trade. But again, trades cost compensation. You have to give up something to get someone. And what does that compensation look like? I keep going back to Deebo Samuel for a fifth.
You're going to pay more for that for Trey.
Sure, I understand, but maybe it's not. Maybe the idea of giving up first-round picks for guys, maybe that's not the case.
Lucas Van Ness in a third. Who says no?
Cincinnati? I don't know. But that I wouldn't say no to that. I'm in for that trade. But again, you're giving up a player who still could become a very good player. If you think that about Lucas Van Ness, he's very young.
Rashawn Gary for Trey Hendrickson straight up?
Again, big age difference.
You, would
yes,
you?
I would. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Would you?
I would not. No. I'm a Gary believer though. So.
Yeah, I'm a doubter. But I'm a believer in Steinhafels, and right now, the Steinhafels Waukesha Clearance Center. I wish I would have known this when I was in Brookfield, just nearby. It is dangerously, that's what it says here, dangerously overstocked. I don't know what that means. They must liquidate over $5 million in furniture and mattresses immediately. You can save up to, this can't be right, up to 95%? You're going to pay 5% of the original cost of an item?
No.
Get out of here. Wow. I got to get me down to Waukesha. They have to liquidate $5 million. More than that in furniture and mattresses, and it's got to go immediately. Save up to 95% off clearance, closeouts, floor samples, and one-of-a-kinds. It all has to go. But hurry in. The sale ends. The Steinhafels Waukesha Warehouse sale ends on Sunday. We'll get to Trey Hendrickson, but we'll also get to more of your calls on DK Metcalf. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 17th for Marco Siki's 7th Annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes at 8 a.m., then back at the Alliant Energy Center at 2 p.m. for happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions, plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat. To sign up and get more info, go to castingforkids.org. Casting, the number 4kids.org.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by the NCUA.
What are you doing out there?
Come on!
I saw you at the game the other night. Yeah, you. Up there getting mad, acting like we're all out there making $1 million a game. Well, let me be real with you. This isn't the pros. It's school sports, and it's a game, our game. So please, let us play.
School sports fans, remember, when you cheer for your team, make noise for the right reasons. This message presented by the NFHS and the NIAAA.
And all student athletes in Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
All right, Madison, let's face it. Predicting the bracket is hard, but enjoying a month of nonstop college basketball is easy, especially when it's paired with the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light is giving you a shot to attend the ultimate watch party in Vegas for the final days of the tournament. Just go to budlight.com/easypicks to enter for your chance to win. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on 1/6/25. Ends 3/30/25. Multiple entry periods. Visit budlight.com/easypicks for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
Brewers baseball is in the air.
It's back, and it is up, and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Spring back into the baseball season on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Before we get to more calls and before we get to Trey Hendrickson, I do think that this is part of the calculus on trading for DK Metcalf or doing something else at wide receiver. You know, I think very highly of my buddy Bill Huber and the work he does at Sports Illustrated's Packers page.
Mm-hmm.
He's going through the wide receiver free agent class, and the pickings are slim. He points
Carl
out,
Pickens.
though.
T. Boone Pickens.
T. Boone Pickens, that's who I was going to go with.
Be nice to have T. Boone in the mix, yeah.
George Pickens.
Certainly.
R.I.P.
He certainly would help your
Who was that
NIL.
Pickens that was with the Pack? There was a Pickens back in the day, right?
No, Terry Mickens.
Mickens. Okay.
Kitchens.
He used to coach. Country Kitchen.
Freddie Kitchens, yeah. Jayden
Freddie,
Reed
yeah.
doesn't even rhyme with
Charles
any of this.
Dickens, The Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Slim Pickens.
Sam Ficken was going to beat out Mason.
Yeah, he took
Crosby
over
at
for
some point.
Mason, is what I was told.
Yeah, how did I miss that one today?
So Jayden Reed had, because Bill's breaking down the Packers depth chart, he had 138 yards in the opener in Brazil. He had 139 yards against the Vikings in Week 4.
Yeah,
he had 113 yards against the Lions in Week 9. After that, over the final 8 games, Jayden Reed caught
Slim
19
Pickens, am I right?
passes.
Slim Pickens from a production standpoint. Am I right?
19 passes for 237 yards. He had no catches in that Detroit game, and he had 1 catch for 6 yards against Minnesota.
That wasn't good. No.
In the words of legendary Packers coach Vince Lombardi, what the hell's going on out here? And did we not do a good enough job of examining this?
No. So that was one of the things, and I remember texting that, and we had this as discussion points on our show. The Jayden Reed, what the heck? Basically, I think you could probably go back, check the tape. I think we've had this conversation, and my point was, well, you don't have, it's not as if he's Sterling Sharp yet, so you find ways. But then the troubling part to me on this was, you heard Matt LaFleur say, we need to find ways to get him the ball. We have to find ways to do this because how we've had, whether it was jet sweeps, whatnot. And even with that, you still went through that productivity. In the big boy games, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's concerning. It is. You could say, well, he drops all this other stuff. Young player, yeah. He had established himself. He had those big games at the beginning of the year. And when there's some times you're going to have some lulls, especially younger players. The consistency's not what you want as when you get older, and it's kind of, this is what your expectations are. The fact that there was we're going to stress and emphasize finding ways to get him the ball, and then you still didn't, it's concerning. And my guess, when you're hearing urgency, that's a big component to this when it's the Jayden Reed piece, because there's nobody on this panel, and I don't think anyone listening, that doesn't think that Jayden Reed's a good wideout and is going to be a part of this group for an extended period of time. And by the way, he's not a finished product. These same conversations, had we had a show in 2015, would have been about Davante Adams. And I'm not saying Jayden Reed's going to be Davante. I don't see that. I think he'll be good. But those same conversations, maybe he's not that good. Well, his ankle was bad. I don't know if Jayden Reed was dinged up. I don't know. Nobody said anything, so you have to just take it at its word that he wasn't. But you have to let these guys grow. It is a process. And I thought one of our earlier callers mentioning the fact that Goody should have maybe done this last year, got a pretty good point. Because last year would have been a great year for a veteran when we saw some of this swoonage at the receiver spot, the drops and the not as productive as you'd hoped. Maybe that's when a veteran, James Jones, when he came back, maybe you have those guys step in and alleviate some of that pressure, because it felt like the pressure maybe overrode what we saw last year out of this group.
Let's get to a call. 844-770-3776.
You look like you had a concerned face. Anytime you do that, I'm like, what? Something just happened. You had a concerned face.
I'm trying.
Okay.
we're going to play trivia, and I still want to get to the Hendrickson conversation. We went from Jesse soliciting ideas for the rundown to basically talking about one thing almost the entire show, which is fine.
That'll happen.
Except we never got back to, is Mason Crosby the second most prominent player of the Rodgers era, which is where we started. But boy, did we drop that like a hot potato. Let's go to Jason and Tosa.
But is he the best kicker of all time in Packers history?
For sale?
Jason, good morning. Thanks for holding on, buddy. What do you?
Good morning, guys. Hey, I think you're starting to hit on it. I'm out on the DK Metcalf trade, not because of anything having to do with DK Metcalf, but because I think it's an act of desperation by the general manager who has screwed up the wide receiver room. We're sitting here with, I'm sorry, with Dobbs and Jayden Reed is a nice slot receiver, hopefully, but he has drops problems. Dontayvion Wicks, who knows? I mean, Jason, 2019, you keep referring to how Goody talks about he could have taken DK Metcalf, but instead he took Elton Jenkins. The real miss in that draft was he traded up to take Darnell Savage when A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel were on the board. Then he took Jay Sternberger, one pick before Terry McLaurin. We're not here today if he takes any of those guys. Now, in addition, 2022, they were again desperate for a wide receiver. He traded up to take Amari Rodgers. The next two picks, wide receivers after that, were Nico Collins, who's a very good receiver for the Texans, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Goody has missed over and over in the wide receiver. He inherited Davante. We had 4 decent years of Hall of Fame or near Hall of Fame production. He has, and the wide receiver room, compare it to our competitors. You've got the Eagles with A.J. Brown, who they traded a first for, Devontae Smith, a top 15 pick. The Vikings have 2 first-round picks.
Addison,
the Lions have Jamison Williams.
Yeah.
I mean,
on St. Brown.
We're not even close.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, I'm worried that he's desperate. Someone's going to shine a spotlight on what he's done in the wide receiver room. And I'm feeling bad for Jordan Love because it feels a little bit like latter stages Aaron Rodgers. The weapons aren't there for him by any comparison to our competitors. It's not even close.
So his track record at wide receiver.
That's a big boy call right there. That's a great call.
Jason, thanks for the call. You make some really good points. His track record at wide receiver. Let's do this. 2018, Jamon Moore.
Not great.
MVS.
No. MVP guy. A lot of MVPs he brought to his teams.
Super Bowl champ.
And Equiminius St. Brown.
Amon's brother.
Podcast.
Good
Wrong
podcast.
St. Brown. No wide receivers in 2019's draft. No wide receivers in the 2020 draft.
I think we found an issue.
Amari Rodgers in the 2021 draft. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Samori Toure in the 2022 draft.
Sleeper. Great Steinhoffler.
Samori gone. Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? I'm not sure what to think of Romeo these days. And Christian Watson, who has flashed greatness, but missed a lot of time with injuries, finally was healthy for an entire season, and then tears his ACL in the finale. 23, Jayden Reed, Dontayvion Wicks, Grant Dubose. Now, we both like Reed. We both like Wicks. I like Wicks more than you do. But they combined to drop 19 passes last season. 10 for Reed, 9 for Wicks. So maybe they're not quite as good as we want to think that they are. And then no wide receiver in last year's draft.
Could you make the argument? And
I think
Jason
Homer has.
He just had a great call. That the difference between the big boys that we couldn't beat last year.
They got wide receivers right.
And we didn't. Is that an argument that how on earth do you fight that fight? And by the way, if I'm Philadelphia, I think seriously about trading Brown in the next year or two when he's at his peak and getting younger there, because he's good. He's obviously a stud. There's people that you don't think Mike Vrabel, who loved him in Tennessee, and that was the big breakup with him.
Yeah, you're right.
Trade him for a first and a couple, and all of a sudden reload that spot. I don't want Philly to do that. But Philadelphia, Detroit, Minnesota have all crushed at their wide receiver picks. I would say Detroit definitely 2 tiers lower than them, but Green Bay's below that. And who are the teams we couldn't beat last year?
Yeah, Detroit, Minnesota, Philly.
Well, in Chicago, but
they beat them once, barely.
That's true.
By a fingernail. Let's play some trivia. Today's trivia category, because Jesse will have the Bowl Stream TV live video streaming coverage.
What will give us the best chance to have a week of first-timers only? Because we don't want to discourage.
If you've played before,
I'm not
don't call.
discouraging. No. We're not We're not in the discouraging
cheating.
business.
That'd be cheating.
Is it higher numbers? Is it lower numbers? Jesse, you got a pulse on this. What do we need to do?
I think we got to put it right in the middle. Caller 10. Right in the middle.
Caller 10. The category is Let's Go Bowling. Let's go bowling.
Oh, boy.
Caller 10 for 10 frames. 10
we got
pins.
Lukaczynski. We got Lukaczynski, Jay, because he's the best bowler in this whole group from what I've seen and heard. The GKB team.
Or caller 223, because that's what Jesse waltzed in and rolled.
Yeah, Wally is not the best bowler, but I don't know what you've heard.
He's the most renowned bowler.
That's fair. Caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 10 plays trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Bucks.
He's one of those guys that can absolutely dominate. He can activate that MVP mode.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And you know when Giannis is right, he can carry his team across the finish line.
Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. It was great then, and it's great making new memories with my family now. It is the best month of the year for basketball fans, and Pizza Hut is the perfect addition to your game day viewing experience. Whether it's a night in on your own or you're having the whole crew over to watch all of the best tournament action, stock up with some original stuffed crust pizza, wings with your favorite flavor sauces, or a bunch of the other delicious options Pizza Hut has to offer. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Brackets, buzzer beaters, and pizza. Make sure Pizza Hut is part of your tournament viewing plans this month. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Steinhoffels, make it your own event. Personalized colors, fabrics, and more. Save up to $800 and use Steinhoffels 18-month financing. Only at Steinhoffels. Wisconsin fans roaring, let's go Badgers, after Bucky's 74-67 win at Minnesota. Nolan Winter back in his home state, loving the chants. The sophomore big man on the moment during his appearance on the Jump Around digital show.
Going into the barn, we saw Stia Red kind of file in before the game, and we were loving it. So throughout the whole game, we were just trying to get them involved a little bit. And at the end of the game, when that Let's Go Badger chant kind of broke out, we were loving it.
Nolan Winter joins the Jump Around Thursdays at 1 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
We're on the Badgers.
I ain't going to be scared to say that this team can make a Final Four.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
This team's good enough. They are.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. All this time I've wasted. You were right there all along.
Wow, this has never happened. Jesse didn't tell me who our contestant is. He wants to dramatically reveal whether we got our 5th consecutive first-time caller or not. He's got a flair for the dramatic. So without further ado, it's time for trivia.
Do you think we did it?
I think, given your history, I'm going to say that we didn't do it and you wanted to create drama and there isn't any. That's my gut reaction.
I think Scuba Chad is going to be the guy to break this up.
Ruining it.
Please welcome first-time contestant.
Let's go!
Paul in Stoughton.
Who?
Let's go.
Paul
hey
in Stoughton.
Oh, hey, how are you guys doing today?
We're great, and we're excited. A clean sweep of the week, all first-time contestants. Paul,
wow.
Thank you for your service, and good luck here.
That's funny. How's it going, Tyler?
Doing awesome, Paul. Doing fantastic.
You guys know each other?
So, my son and his son will actually play against each other in football. So,
is your son better?
Yeah.
Oh, great question.
They play different positions.
Oh,
so,
what does your son play?
Yeah. He's going to play tight end and middle linebacker.
Yeah, but like Trey Hendrickson's better than Bo Melton.
All right, Paul.
Whoa, Nelly!
I don't know what you know about bowling, but here we go.
Used to bowl a lot when I was younger.
All right, well, then maybe this will help your cause. Jesse is going to be on the call of the... Why is it at 2 different locations, Jesse? Boys and girls?
Well,
Division 1, 2?
There are limited amounts of centers that are actually large enough to hold the entire tournament. So we will be at Rolling Thunder Lanes in Neenah.
Thunder. Feel the thunder.
That's where the actual championship Sunday will be taking place. Everybody will be there. But throughout this weekend, including starting today and actually just in a little bit this afternoon, they'll be split between Neenah and Oshkosh for the
we
state
like the
championships.
Oshkosh one. That's a nice facility.
I do like. That's where I bowled my 300 game last year.
9-pin tap.
9-pin tap, yes.
All right, let's go here. Paul, question 1 in Let's Go Bowling. What is the popular term for a bowler getting 3 consecutive strikes? 3
Oh, I know this one.
consecutive strikes.
I know this one.
Don't spoil it, Tausch.
Is it an eagle, a turkey, or an albatross?
B turkey.
Yeah.
Correct the mundo.
Gobble, gobble. Gobble,
Right.
gobble.
Question 2. Which bowler, known for his chirpy and rebellious personality, infamously said, "Who do you think you are? I am," after winning the U.S. Open title in 2012? Was that chirpy and
Dude,
rebellious personality?
Just wait a second. You give me grief about going J.R. Ewing? You're talking about some bowling champ from the 2012s,
It
man?
is a very popular meme
It's
in
the
the
most
bowling
famous
community.
moment in bowling history.
So is J.R. Ewing and Who Shot J.R. in TV history.
The
but I digress.
bowler,
Go on.
the bowler in question, the chirpy and rebellious bowler in question, is it Norm Duke, Walter Ray Williams, or Pete Weber?
Go C. I have no idea.
It is Pete Weber. Well done,
Old
son of
Pistol
Dick
Pete,
Weber.
They called him Pistol Pete.
Okay.
I thought that was Pete Maravich, but tomato. I've heard it both ways.
Norm Duke was our special guest a couple of years ago on Bullstream TV's coverage of the Wisconsin High School State Championships.
Yeah, and when Wally was bowling in at Tower Lanes in Beaver Dam, I called him Walter Ray Luczynski. It's
pretty good.
Lukaczynski.
All right.
All right. Question 3.
Tausch, can you name a bowler and play with us here or no?
Come on.
No.
Earl
No, I
Anthony.
knew
Come on.
Weber. Pete Weber.
Dick Weber. Okay. Question 3.
Chris Weber.
George Weber. Question 3.
Shout out to my dad for this one. We'll talk about it after the question's done.
Okay.
Ushering in.
Ushering in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Question 3. What is the best score you can achieve in a single standard game of bowling without throwing a strike?
Oh, great question.
Is it 190, 199, or 200?
The 199.
I don't know, is it?
Yeah.
I feel like this is like an insta fact check. Like, I want this insta fact checked. I'm sure he's right, but I want this insta fact.
So it doesn't need to be because here's the deal.
Oh, God.
Right.
9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare.
My dad, who
okay.
was a bowling coach for the
And an
Muskego
usher.
program and
He
an
also
usher.
ushered.
He was an usher at AmFam
Did he
Field back
favor
in the day, yes.
Did he favor the coach's kid, or did he get after your
No, in
ass
fact,
more?
he notoriously made a very poor decision that cost us a JV match when one of the only matches he ever coached that I was actually on the team for.
And he sat you.
Yeah, well, no, I played, but he sat our best bowler, and we had a chance to win it at the end. It was a very controversial decision.
You're clearly over it.
It's the difference in JV and varsity, I suppose. So he asked me this question when I was a kid, and he told me the answer was 199. So when I worked at our sister station, WBEV in Beaver Dam, one of the first times I filled in for Uncle Bill doing the morning news show, there was a trivia question we had to ask every day and come up with. I said, I've got a great trivia question. It's my favorite question. What's the best score you can get in bowling without throwing a strike? It's a 199. And so someone called in. They said 190. I said, sorry, that's incorrect. Someone called in, said 199. That's correct. There was a revolt from the good people of Dodge County who fact-checked me filling in for Uncle Bill on the WBEV morning show, confirming that it is, in fact, a 190 and not a 199.
Okay.
So wait a minute.
So I blame my dad for instilling the incorrect information in me when I was a kid. And then it was taken out on the good people of Dodge County, who had to fact-check me in my first ever instance of needing to be fact-checked for radio trivia.
First of many. That's for sure. So just to be fair to Paul, if George was in charge of today's trivia, he'd have been 3 for 3.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, George, not in charge of trivia. So, Paul, you, like I think every other contestant this week, not only are you a first-time contestant, but you got 2 out of 3 right. So you have 3 of the possible 4 entries into the drawing, and I think everyone is a first-time contestant with 3 possible entries in the drawing.
That is the case, yes.
That's amazing. Paul, good luck. We appreciate you. This was fun. Hope you play again, buddy.
Thank you. Hey, the whole thing with DK, why not go all out this year? Why not go all out this year, get DK and Adams, and then draft later on? I mean, because picks are on, who knows what the pick's going to be. Why not just go out this year and get those 2?
Yeah. Hey, let's do it. All in.
I mean, picks are unproven, right? You can be a bust. So why not go get 2 stars and just go for it all? And then also rebuild your all-line.
I want Jamar Chase, too. I mean, if we're doing this, I also want Jamar Chase. That's fair.
I agree. Yeah.
Picks.
Can we get Josh Allen? Can we give up Josh Allen for Jordan Love?
Yeah, I would make that trade. I'd make that trade from Green Bay.
I mean, I'm uncertain about Dobbs now because of his whole concussion thing. Watson, I understand he can be a threat, but he's hurt all the time. And Wicks, he drops City at times. So why not?
Jason.
Yeah.
Drop City.
Drop City USA, as Tausch would say. Paul, good luck, buddy. We appreciate you. Thanks.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a good day.
All right, we got to kick off the 11 o'clock hour.
One thing I noticed, our first-timers, not as many love yous. I don't know if you noticed that. Not getting the same
They're
love
new to the
yous.
game, maybe. Maybe they're just new to the game.
Except who said LYG earlier this week?
Yeah, I like
somebody's
that.
good. Yeah.
And by the way, I love when a trivia contestant will bring up something about what we're talking about, too. I thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah, well. What are we? It's 11:05. I'm trying to get to the break.
Meow.
Meow, 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 meow. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
Norman is a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. Conference rivals meet in a boys basketball regional semifinal tonight. Bell Phillips Memorial hosts Madison La Follette. Coverage starts at 6:30, tip at 7 o'clock, right here on 100.5 ESPN and live video streaming free on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Tomorrow afternoon at the Kohl Center, Senior Day for the 12th-ranked Wisconsin men's basketball team hosting the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State's been eliminated from contention to reach the Big Ten Conference Tournament in Indianapolis next week. Wisconsin's still in contention to try and earn a double bye to the quarterfinal round. They're in a 3-way tie right now with Purdue and Maryland. Purdue plays at Illinois tonight. We want Illinois to win that game. If Illinois doesn't win, I don't think Wisconsin can get the double bye. Otherwise, there's a bunch of tiebreakers involved. You can check it out wherever you can find that information on ESPNWisconsin.com. Penn State, Wisconsin, noon tomorrow, Senior Day at the Kohl Center for the Badgers. Also Senior Day for the 20th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles hosting 6th-ranked St. John's in a huge contest tomorrow, 11 a.m. tip at Fiserv Forum. Listen to that one on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Wilde and Tausch continues now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch begins now. How's it going for you?
Doing awesome. How are you?
Great. Can't wait for the big reveal of what you were up to at some sort of television studio in the greater Green Bay Metroplex. We'll find that out when we get to Feelgood Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
Spoiler alert.
You pointed out the
can't keep
TV
a secret,
camera
you know that.
and the light in the background when he left, and you still had the video stream.
We were putting the clues together. He said it's not like the world of radio where things are ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Thought we were pretty clear on. We thought
Blues Clues.
I'm still figuring it all out.
By the way, speaking of blue, Brian Bulaga, great addition to our team. We're so happy to have him. But I got a text from James Campen this morning, and he calls him Bull. Was that a commonplace thing? Bull instead of blue?
It started off like beluga whale, and then it went to blue because we're all kind of lazy, and then I think it was bull. So, yeah, I think there's anything that began with a B, I think was fair game. I got a text from Campy earlier this morning, too.
Does he know you're in town? Is he going to he's not in Green
think
Bay.
I also got a text from James Campen.
That's interesting. What did he say to you?
I lied. I didn't.
Well, honestly, the text string that I'm on, it's a eclectic cast of characters. I'm not at liberty to share what was all said, but let's just say we were very happy to hear that Campy's doing well. That's all I'm going to say. He's doing really good. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, I got to see him through the magic of video when we did a charity event last week, and Brian Bulaga, Bull, and Corey Lindsley were involved. So that was awesome, and we all love Campy on here, even though Jesse didn't get a text message from him. I'm curious, when you look at this whole conversation that we've spent the 2 hours on wide receiver, what's the opportunity cost if you do go get DK Metcalf? Because that probably, since it would also require a trade to get Trey Hendrickson, means you're out on Trey Hendrickson. And again, maybe Goody has no interest in Trey Hendrickson. I think he should. But if you do this, how much less capable are you of fixing the other holes in your roster?
I don't think it's as big of a deal, but the Packers have plenty of cap space.
Mm-hmm.
They do want to get more picks, there's no doubt. So if you're giving up the Corbin package, a first and a third, it limits you. If you end up giving up a third, then I start wondering if Goody thinks about maybe trading that one and trying to grab more twos, because not a doubt in my mind he wants more picks. He said that. But you're looking at how can we address these spots and still continue to add young players. The thing that you were doing when you went through that litany of Goody picks at wideout, there was a 2-year void where you didn't take any cracks at it. And that doesn't happen often. Just like you don't see that with offensive linemen. Typically, Green Bay will always draft one or two, regardless of how good their group is, because things change quickly in this league. 2 years, and then you end up, you're kind of banking on Davante being the guy for a couple of those, and he did, and he was.
He was, yeah.
But man, things can get dicey quickly, and they did. And then you thought you had some home runs, and maybe you had singles when it comes to the rest of your wide receiving core, and you hope that they're able to leg these in and steal and get some runs out of it. But as we sit here now, that hasn't been the case. So I think if you end up going, and I've said this the entire time, I think you're going to see one big splash and then a lot of ripples that will affect your football team in a positive way. But I don't think there's any mistaking. If this team is going to get a lot better and be a Super Bowl contender, it's not going to be because they made one big splash free agent move. It's going to be because the young guys on this roster got better, and Jordan Love got better, and the offense gets a lot better. The development of these picks from the last two drafts, they're going to need to take steps. And if they don't, because for all that we've said about Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's roster was stacked. We said that all year. Their roster was better than Green Bay's. They got a lot of productivity from first and second year players. A lot. And those guys while they weren't Saquon and they weren't Zach Bond, there's a lot of guys, whether it was Cooper DeJean, the other dude, the defensive back that I keep forgetting his name.
Quinyon Mitchell.
They were early picks and jumped right into roles, and that was a big reason why they were able to win a championship. That's still going to be the case with Green Bay. Those guys need to take the step. Trey Hendrickson come in, be a great player, and that's awesome, but it's still going to be those other guys needing to take steps in order to make this team a Super Bowl contender.
So do they need Trey Hendrickson? Do they need him? Do they need him more than they need DK Metcalf?
Yes.
I agree. So will they do that? 30-year-old pass rusher. What's Goody going to do there? Again, 27-year-old wide receiver versus 32. Is he willing to go against his type to do some things because of his urgency statement? That's the other part of this.
I just believe he'll do one. I don't think he's going to go and do a Metcalf deal and then also a Trey Hendrickson. I think if you're going to move pieces, not pick up a Bosa or Davante or something that's not going to cost you anything but the financial part, he's only going to get one crack at that. And if it's Hendrickson, if it's Metcalf, whoever it might be, I think he's only going to do one. Then you look at what are our next best options in the Davante realm, which is signing guys that have been released. Jonathan Allen from Washington just got released. He's younger. He's going to be expensive. Is he the answer? You're not going to have to give up picks to get him. And that's why Trey Hendrickson's the reports are it's going to take a second, maybe an early third to get him. But that's not the only opportunity cost, as you put it. It's going to be another $30 million a year. You saw what Max Crosby got. That's the price of doing business. And we have to kind of get over the fact that this is what it costs. It's just a matter of, is it the right guy? We will pay for the right guy. I'm happy Goody paid for the right guys last year. It was great.
He
and
did.
It helped our team.
Do you think that increases his likelihood of doing it again?
Yes. You have success in something, you're much more likely to dab back in that same well than if you don't. That water tastes pretty sweet last year, didn't it?
It did, and it was vitamin fortified. The problem that I have, and I was saying this to Homer and Gabe this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, I don't like feeling like I don't really know what the hell he's going to do. Because what I don't want to do is get people's hopes up. Like, I feel like with Ted, unless it went completely out of left field.
You want to just be suppressed all the time?
No. With Ted, I feel like I always had a pretty good idea. Well, he's not doing this. Nope, he's not doing this.
So you'd rather have no hope of happening than
I'm not
knowing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. From the job that we have.
Said. Oh, okay.
Before I was rudely interrupted.
Yeah, right.
But I don't want to create false hope. So if Davante Adams, this is why I sent that text. You could question and quibble with the way I phrased it. But I don't want to get people's hopes up about Davante Adams if Goody has zero interest in him. None. None. Zip. Trey Hendrickson, to me, makes a lot of sense. Because he also makes Rashawn Gary better and potentially more productive. And he makes Kenny Clark and LVN more productive. And if it's only a second or a third, I would rather give up a third for him than give it up for DK Metcalf. Because I think the pass rush, if you can win with 4, opens up a realm of possibilities. I'd rather not have to give up a pick and take an older Davante Adams to fix my wide receiver position. That allows me to give up 1 draft pick and fix 2 positions. As opposed to if I give up a draft pick for DK Metcalf, I've only fixed 1.
Why do you think Schefter's report that you said on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning is that the Packers aren't as intrigued as maybe we'd like to think that they should be?
Yeah, I can only assume he's
Too
talked
old?
to people that have given him that vibe, and that he's 32 years old, and Goody just
Okay.
doesn't believe in age. Age is more than a number. Age is a disqualifier. for him. But that's me guessing.
Good thing he's not the GM of the Lakers, am I right?
Well, maybe they can get Doncic in another trade, and they can get Doncic here.
Thank you, Kay.
I love that laugh. It's not as good as Mark Murphy, but it's pretty good. All right.
You want to hear them together?
It's a whole room full of laughter. All right, Jesse, do you really want to play Where's Wilde, or would you rather keep going with people's talk and text line responses on the carbless talk and text line?
I do not want to play Where's Wilde anymore. No, we'll play that.
Because you don't have the audio.
Yeah, we'll play that on Monday or Tuesday or sometime next week.
You know who our cousin sub of the day is on Monday, right?
Well,
I'm not going to lie. I'm already very nervous about that.
I think you should probably hold off on that for the time being. FYI. That's why we typically don't. That's why we typically don't talk about.
I wasn't going to say who is scheduled to appear. I wasn't even going to mention it.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't. I swear to God, I wasn't.
Jesse.
But I'm nervous about this person, not because I'm worried about him showing. It's because 3 hours is a long time to put up with me for this person.
Jesse, he was going to say it, wasn't he?
I was not going to say it.
Nelly. Why is he so afraid of you? I don't get this.
I wasn't going to say it. All right.
Yes, you were.
We're going to do whatever Jesse wants to do. So, Jesse, what do you want to do?
Let's review what some of the fans are saying, because we haven't checked the text line here in a moment, and there's some thoughts on Trey Hendrickson, on DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
I think we should circle back for some of that.
I also would like to let you know how that poll turned out yesterday about Dontayvion Wicks and Jayden Reed. There was some separation, but not much. Just like there's separation between the morning when Tausch is drinking his favorite beverage, which is a hot, piping hot, delicious Karuba coffee, and his beverage he might drink in the evening, which, of course, is a Blue Mountain sparkling Coors Light.
You know, it's Coors Light's getting warm out. You got to make sure you're drinking Coors Light. Get those mountains blue. Look at that can, the silver bullet. I like the 16-ounce wide mouth, and then that Blue Mountain just popping off. That's when you know Coors Light is chilled to perfection. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company. Go then, Colorado.
We'll check the text line and check the poll next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and I'm here to tell you about Pepsi, an official, proud partner of the NFL and the NFL Draft. Draft is coming up in Green Bay. We're talking plenty of draft as well as free agency, all the fun things going on around that team in Green Bay. And you know we're also talking about Pepsi, the perfect beverage to have with your tailgate as a tasty mixer. And you know what else is really good? Pepsi Zero Sugar. With the first overall pick, Pepsi selects Pepsi Zero Sugar. It's a height of 4.8 inches. It weighs 12 ounces. It contains 0 calories. It is the best beverage you can have as a mixer at your tailgate when you're enjoying the draft up in Green Bay. And in fact, at the draft, Pepsi is bringing back the Pepsi Challenge. How cool is that? Everybody loves the Pepsi Challenge. Visit the NFL experience and put your taste buds to the test with Pepsi. And also, Pepsi has worked with Wisconsin Badgers safety Hunter Wohler. They're excited to see him be drafted in Green Bay as a proud representative of Pepsi. Again, Pepsi and Pepsi Zero Sugar, proud partners of the NFL and the NFL Draft.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no
All right, Jesse. What have we heard on the carbless talk and text line? Carbless less is more.
So believe it or not, there's actually the entire first page of it right now is people trying to fact check the 190 versus 199 bowling score argument. This is like a nightmare all over again 10 years later from when I did this in Beaver Dam. No, it's not right.
No, but I'm saying I knew that there were going to be people that wanted to fact check you because I wanted to fact check you.
Yes.
Wait, have you done the 10 frames and
Yes.
scored it yourself right there?
Because people were texting it. I did it myself here. I mathed it all out here. This is bowling math here. You can read this. So 9 pins, so 19 all the way up to here. You have a 171 going into the final frame. You you have a 152 in the 8th with a spare in the 9th. So it's up to you add the 9 from the first ball in the 10th frame, so you're up to a 171. You get the spare. That's 10 pins in the 10th plus 9 more. 19 pins in the final frame. 190, not a 199. You're all wrong. You say it's a 199. It's a 190.
Including you and your dad, who were once
Including my dad. Yes, believe me, my dad's gotten a lot of grief from me over the years for how foolish I felt when I did this in Beaver Dam. Now, he can have comfort in knowing so many people, including Tausch, would think he was still
are
right.
dumb like him.
Yeah. It's 190.
No, I just knew that this would be controversial. We went bowling during the COVID era, and they didn't have screens. You know, everything now is so high tech, right? They handed you an old scorecard. You know, they gave you a piece of paper, said, here you go. And nobody knew how to do it. I still don't. And I should, but I don't. So, Jesse, just because you threw a slab of paper up and said that's what it is, I'm sorry, that's not Einstein putting together this equation. Okay? It's just not.
So I Googled it, and it has, how the Google now has the AI translator that pops up at the top, and it gives you like the quick AI overview answer. So I Googled it. I said, what's the best score you can get in bowling without getting a strike? It says 190. Someone else sends me
What is Jason doing back there? Is he like packing?
Trying to fix my chair. I broke my chair. Broke my chair.
Someone else sends me a screenshot on the text line with the exact same thing typed into Google, and the response says a 199.
Yeah.
So Google's wrong about it, but Google's playing both sides of this argument. You can't do that.
What did Grok? And then check if Chad GPT. We got a bunch of different deals
It's
now.
a 190.
And Scuba Chad.
Mike and Madison, I love you boys. You've been on the Davante trade for a while. Bring him back. I agree that there needs to be veteran presence in the locker room. Do you honestly think Goody would apologize to Davante?
No, he doesn't need to apologize to Davante. It's a business. You apologize by paying him his money and have him come in. That's the apology.
Pay that man his money.
You think Jason, does Davante want an apology? Davante wants an opportunity.
He wants a job.
Yeah.
He wants to win. He wants to get a gold jacket. Apology is what apology is even lower on the list than
West Coast.
West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah.
John in Brownsville.
It wasn't even me.
No, I know.
All right, I'm gonna put this text up here for you in a minute. I think I don't know how I feel about this one, so we're gonna need.
Is there profanity in it?
No, he's trying to do an analogy here.
Ooh, I love that.
And he goes quick trip with the analogy.
Okay,
but I'm not sure I get it.
Mini tacos.
So
I like the mini.
This is about the DK Metcalf potential trade here. So why would you splurge on the chicken tenders at the Quick Trip hotspot when the rib sandwich is on sale and you know it's always good? Might even be able to afford a Quickery muffin. Get Davante Adams and look for a D end instead of DK Metcalf.
I understand what John's saying.
I totally know what he's going for.
Yeah, and you know what the great thing is at these hotspots? Everything's great. Yes, some things cost more. Players cost more.
Yeah.
And it comes back to, if I'm really hankering for those tenders, I probably want to go on Wednesday. If I'm really hankering for a rotisserie chicken, I'm going Monday. But if it's a Thursday and I'm not really in the mood, or, weekends, they do the brats and the hot dogs. That's kind of their special on the weekends. If I'm not in the mood for that, I'm going to go get a chicken tender, or I'm going to go get something. The apps are on sale till the 10th. I'll get some mozzie sticks, and I'll maybe throw a coffee and some Dunkers in. You have to look at what, if you really are in the mood for those tenders, you go, and the tenders are going to make you whole. Go get the tenders. If you're just hungry and want a great meal, look around and say, ooh, yeah, that rib sandwich is dynamite, and it's only here for a certain amount of time. I'm going to pounce on that. So I think it's a great analogy. Well done.
Wait, is the rib sandwich at Quick Trip like another rib sandwich somewhere else where it's only intermittently, or do they have it all the time? It's just a matter of whether you hit the hot spot at the right time.
It's there pretty frequently.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Potatoes for sale.
I've heard that.
Potatoes for sale.
Indeed. And Dunkers.
One more here from Ron in Sun Prairie.
Ronnie.
Maybe, he does say Guyev. Maybe... Guyev.
He's a Russian operative.
Maybe Goody needs to get a different scout team. Ultimately, he makes the last decision. But all these terrible receiver picks, maybe that's on his scout team for not being very good judgers of talent. Ron and Sun Prairie. What do we make of that coming after the scout team?
I disagree with Ron's premise. I think, again, as Jason, one of our callers earlier in the show, pointed out, it's a glaring difference.
It is.
Between the big boys that beat us consistently this season and where we're at. But I'm not going to sit here and besmirch. Like, our receiving core is nice. It's good. Not great. Not great. And you want to have some people emerge. I said all last year, we're waiting for the cream. Get that good butter fat. Make that good cheese. Make that good ice cream. Yeah. And milk. And milk's good. Milk is nutritious. But were we ladling off great, creamy, luxurious ice cream? We weren't. There isn't. And, I used to have ice milk. My mom would get us ice milk. It's fine, but it ain't ice cream. We need ice cream. We need to get our freezer stocked with some good, luxurious, thick, and creamy ice cream. We don't have that. Those other places do. It's coming out their ears. We got ice milk and some gallons of milk in our fridge. That's what we got.
Did you feel out-analogied by John in Brownsville, and so you felt like you had to deliver an analogy there to try and reclaim
but I
your
thought
throne?
mine was pretty good because if you recall, and my memory not great, as you guys know, I had said all last year, I can't wait to see the cream rising to the top, and talked a lot about butterfat.
A lot of butterfat.
That's obviously a big farming. That's farming, and drinking that milk right off the bulk tank back in the old days.
Right off the udder.
Good stuff, man. You needed some cream, and I don't know, Jason. Was there any cream top of that bulk tank that we ladled last year, or is it all milk?
I wasn't there. I wasn't doing any ladling.
No, I'm talking about the receivers.
Oh, I don't remember going to the farm with you. Sorry.
You talk about a fish out of water. That'd be you.
Hey, I walked a cow once at the state fair. I don't think that there was a whole lot of butterfat rising to the top. The idea that butterfat is a good thing, it just doesn't sound like it should be a good thing.
No, you're wrong, but okay. Everything you love in the dairy world is going to have a little tinge of butterfat to it. When you're talking ice cream and that good creamy butter, yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, Grassland Dairy.
Yep.
Great partner of Wilde and Tausch. All right, that is it of the analogy off.
I'm told Grok says it's a 190 for the bowling score, so Grok's got that going for it.
Okay.
How did your guy Elon settle on Grok?
You'd have to ask him. I don't know.
What a weird.
I didn't ask him. Gronk.
Yeah,
I think maybe Gronk.
He's doing a lot of
maybe
media
he's part
these days.
Of it. Maybe
he's very busy.
Maybe he's a Patriots fan.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gronk.
We will get to Whoa Nelly, and then we will finally get the details on what good deed Tausch is doing at a local Green Bay television station with Feelgood Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Those are both still ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, if we asked the experts to project a seated bracket of auto dealers, we would know for sure that Zimbrick Chevrolet would be a number one seat. Whether you're in need of a quick tune-up or a minor repair from the outstanding service team, or it's time to begin the process of buying a new or used vehicle with a friendly salesperson, Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. But you don't have to just take my word for it. Stop by Main Street in Sun Prairie to see for yourself why Zimbrick Chevrolet is consistently recognized as a best of Madison operation. And to see service options or to check out new and used vehicle inventory, start by logging on to ZimbrickChevrolet.com to see all that Zimbrick has to offer. A slam dunk number one seed for any auto experience. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
The Bucks scored 43 first-quarter points and led by 13 after one as they pounded a depleted Dallas Mavericks squad 137-97 at Fiserv Forum. A record-setting night for Giannis as the Greek Freak scored his 20,000th career point. Finished with 32 points in just 25 minutes of action to go along with 15 rebounds and 4 assists.
Here's a drive inside. Giannis goes, speaking of blow-bys, right past Powell to the cup. And with that bucket, Giannis cracks 20,000 points for his career, becoming the 52nd player in NBA history to reach that distinction.
The Bucks now a season-best 11 games over 500 at 36-25. They welcome the Orlando Magic to Fiserv Forum on Saturday night.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 17th for Mark Osiki's 7th Annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes at 8 a.m., then back at the Alliant Energy Center at 2 p.m. for happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions, plus a chance to win an Alumacraft fishing boat. To sign up and get more info, go to castingforkids.org. Casting, 4kids.org.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Unity Point Health Meritor is proud to be ESPN Madison's Mental Health Month sponsor this March. Explore resources at unitypoint.org/Madison. With the right support, every child and teen can find a path to better mental health.
We're on the Badgers.
Who would have thought after 2 seasons?
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
That Greg Gard would have less of a hot seat than Luke Fickell.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Time now for Whoa Nelly with Jesse.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Anyone who says I wouldn't have beat Strofe in that combine last week should have seen me on reverse cam just now running to my desk to get the cheese fry helmet.
You're definitely going to beat Strofe in the 3-cone. There's not a doubt about that.
Tomorrow is Senior Day at the Kohl Center and at Fiserv Forum for Wisconsin and Marquette men's basketball. What, Tausch?
No, I mean, I just made a comment, and I didn't even get, like, an acknowledgement that I might as well have just been like a bird on a windowsill.
You've become increasingly higher maintenance on positive feedback.
I know. I don't love it either. I'm not happy with myself.
I appreciate your kind words and support, Tausch. I do agree I would have beaten Strofe, especially in that 3-cone drill.
Why do we have to keep beating up Strofe about this? Like, I feel like you're beating a slow, elderly runner.
Whoa,
I
Nelly!
get nothing for that.
Now you're
Runs
getting.
like a 78-year-old
This is
woman.
what we're doing now. Awkward silence and then bird on a window. Go ahead, Jelly.
Tomorrow is Senior Day at both the Kohl Center and Fiserv Forum for Wisconsin and Marquette men's basketball. I would like to propose that we change how we celebrate seniors and Senior Day for college sports teams. Because I think the emotion that goes into the pregame festivities
counterproductive.
It can hinder the performance of the team playing with a little added pressure.
I agree.
In the game, you're going through, your parents are walking out with you, you're receiving the recognition, knowing it kind of sets in even before tip, like this is my last game at the Kohl Center. I think there should be an entirely separate ceremony that takes place not on game day for the seniors being recognized and celebrated at the Kohl Center or at Camp Randall or at Fiserv Forum, wherever you play your home games. Flush it or flesh it, old T.
Yeah, it's idiotic. That's dumb. So, yeah. I don't. So you expect.
Thank you for your kind support and feedback.
You get, well, at least
might as well be a bird on a window.
At least I said something. I didn't just pass it by like it was nowhere to be found. You're asking people, 80,000 folks, to come in November 30th or December 3rd after the season's over to come and acknowledge all of the trainers and everybody else at the end of the season and give them rounds of applause for 3 minutes, and then everybody goes home. That's your big thing.
I am sure the good people at the University of Wisconsin or at Marquette or at UW-Milwaukee or Bradley or wherever we are would find a way to make it a little more worthwhile than a 3-minute ceremony.
Well, what are you
that
gonna
people
do?
would come in for.
What are you going to do?
So UW Green Bay's women had their senior day. We were there. Sid and her team went. It was very difficult for me because I had a not helicopter, and I got all their tickets for them to all sit together, and then I sat somewhere else. And even though we were in the same arena, I still struggled.
Writing an article up by the hot dog stand?
No, I watched the game with two buddies of mine. It was fun. But they introduced them as seniors. They came out before the game, but it was very brief. And then after the game, they had a whole to-do where they had a lengthy program. Now, they fortunately won. They beat Purdue-Fort Wayne to win the regular season title. But I did like that it was mostly after the game that they did most of the stuff for the exact reason you're saying. And in fairness, they did win the game. They got down 12-2 to open the game. In part because I'm guessing emotions were high. So they had 6 seniors on their team.
And I thought of doing it after the game first. But
what did your dad do for the bowling team?
Well, the JV.
Do it in the fifth frame?
The JV squad, I don't know. There weren't many seniors on the JV squad. I don't know if we ever had a senior day to celebrate.
Okay.
So you could do it after the game, but you got to know you're going to win the game. You don't want to be celebrating.
So schedule Penn State.
Here's this 6 group of great seniors who just got their butts kicked by 23 today. Let's go celebrate them and all their accomplishments. That's not going to feel right.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
That's why I think it needs to be a separate ceremony. Needs to be a
separate ceremony.
Yeah, but then none of the fans are there.
You can have
ask 80,000 people to come back and do that and then go home.
Make it almost like a pep rally kind of deal. Have some kind of giveaway. Celebrate the great accomplishments.
This is an
Maybe
unrealistic
combine
idea.
Sports. Do it among several Badger sports so everybody gets to have it all. Senior Day could be an entire thing at the Kohl Center for the football team.
You mean like graduation day?
So
now
you're getting somewhere. Now you're cooking with gas. This out. Keep going, and you'll get to somewhere that's palatable for everybody. But
have a concert.
The bottom line is
marching band.
Jesse, parents like to have the picture with the last game in uniform, out with 80,000 fans in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And if your kid's got to deal with a little bit of nerviness early in the game, so be it. That's not going to win or lose you games. Is it ideal? No, it's super emotional. There's no doubt about it. But guys will rise to that. And I think you can use that emotion in a positive way just the same as you can in a negative way.
I'm saying it can impact the win and loss. What if Purdue loses tonight to Illinois? The Badgers need a win tomorrow to secure the double bye to the quarterfinal round of the Big Ten tournament. Yeah. And because they celebrate the seniors before the game, they come out slow, and Penn State, playing for nothing but pride, pulls off some shocking upset win at the Kohl Center.
They don't deserve it then. Then they don't deserve it. You get what you deserve in sports most of the time. Period.
Ball don't lie.
Amen.
It also disrupts the pregame routine for those players who normally have a rhythm and a process they're going through leading up. Now they got to take time and, now I got to walk out with Ma and Pa, wave to the Kohl Center fans. Do it after.
I like the idea of having a senior day where the seniors of every sport get together and you celebrate them and you get something at the Kohl Center, a la almost like a graduation. I think that is a really good idea, but you're still going to want something on that day with your team, with your parents, with your friends, family, and a full courts, full hearts.
Whoa, Nelly!
I'm going to draw the trivia winner
Probably
now.
get that. I should probably get that trademark.
That's
It's
pretty
actually
good.
Really good.
It is very good. Yeah.
Full courts, full hearts, can't lose.
Want to make sure we give Tausch enough time to talk about his Feelgood Friday experience.
That's a good
here.
plan.
So I'm going to draw the trivia winner right now. There are 3 entries.
It's going to be a first-time winner.
It is going to be a first-time contestant that wins. It is going to be a first-time contestant that has 3 entries.
And we have not announced. There's some big things coming with Wilde and Tausch trivia. We have not. There's nothing announceable yet, though. Correct?
Not yet. There's a couple of big things coming up this year.
I love it.
Not yet, but coming soon.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So not yet or not yet.
Congratulations. Great reference, Tausch. That was
Thanks.
really funny. I'm glad you
Jess.
did that.
Thank
Congratulations, Van in Belleville, who I believe
double trivia
was
one of the double trivia people.
LYG guy, if I remember right. Van in
He
Belleville,
deserves it,
Wednesday's geography trivia. Yep, I think he's the only one who said he loved us this week, and he is our trivia winner.
That's good karma.
Brands.
Really good karma. Yeah.
All right,
Another
we'll all
great
find out
reference,
together
Tausch.
what Tausch's Feel
Thank
Good
you.
Friday activity is. Yeah, that was really great, Tausch. Great job. Really good. Well done.
You're so witty.
Thanks, guys.
Gosh, we're so lucky to have you.
You ain't kidding.
Feel Good Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints, is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on
Holman Lindsay is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. That's what makes it Wisconsin's best paint. Holman Lindsay, great paint, great people. Check them out at holmanlindsay.com. And stick around for Feel Good Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Wisconsin fans roaring, let's go Badgers, after Bucky's 74-67 win at Minnesota. Nolan Winter back in his home state, loving the chants. The sophomore big man on the moment during his appearance on the Jump Around digital show.
Going into the barn, we saw a sea of red kind of file in before the game, and we were loving it. So throughout the whole game, we were just trying to get them involved a little bit. And at the end of the game, when that let's go Badger chant kind of broke out, we were loving it, and we were just trying to feed into it a little bit.
Nolan Winter joins the Jump Around Thursdays at 1 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our team installs year-round, so why wait? Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Look, we all know that as we age, our bodies change. But Carbon World Health can help. They have a process of testosterone replacement therapy that includes a diagnostic exam and blood tests to assess your hormone levels to make sure that they are optimal for you, not optimal for your age. Carbon World Health can help you increase your energy, focus, and overall health with their approach to hormone therapy. It's all about quality of life for you. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world,
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck. Each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feelgood Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
Born and raised under the rain and a western wind, felt the way.
Time now for Feelgood Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints and delivered by the big pickler himself, Mark Tauscher, live from a local television studio in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tausch, take it away.
All right, Jason, thank you. So you and I both have done a bunch of stuff with Feeding America. We boxed up goods. I've been doing a golf outing up in Door County for the Boys and Girls Club for about a decade. And we've been able to create something really fun. And by we, Sarah has taken on the brunt of this, but with our partners at TDS as well. And food-wise, I'm going to show you a little shirt that we just put together.
Does it say I agree with Tausch?
No, the back does. But it's Tausch's Cooking Camp to tackle hunger. And this has been a 2-year process that we've kind of started with an idea, and we have executed it. I was up here in Green Bay all day yesterday with the mayor, with some of the city council. We have launched a 8-week program with the Boys and Girls Club and our partners to provide these food kits, and they cook there at the Boys and Girls Club. You get a collection. Everybody's chopping up onions. You get a menu card, a little recipe card. You have 10 or 12 kids. They cook, they eat there, and then they take home a box to their family and cook at home. So we've kind of coordinated with these 4 great partners and found a way to do some really cool interactive things. We launched in 3 Fox Valley Boys and Girls Clubs, and we couldn't be more excited. I have to give a ton of credit to Sarah, who has really taken the bull by the horns and gotten this thing going. But it was really cool to see this thing launch yesterday. And I'm here at Fox 11. We did a little deal with Abby on their Fox 11 cooking show. Didn't get to cook, but we got to talk about the program. So we are really excited to get this thing off the ground after a lot of planning and a lot of work. And yesterday's event could not have been more successful. So really excited about Tausch's Cooking Camp. You can check it out on Instagram, which I'm still struggling with, but it's Tausch's Camp on Instagram. Sarah's been posting photos of kind of she's been up here for 3 days. I've been up here for 2. So really fun initiative.
This is so awesome and so amazing. And you may have wanted positive feedback for the other garbage that you put out on this show, but this is truly golden. This is amazing, and I love that you're doing it. Has anyone pointed out the irony that you literally announced it the week that you banned your own wife from using the oven in your home, and she did all the work?
That is ironic, and it's almost like maybe she was doing that, but she's not actually in the kitchen cooking. She's organizing. She's getting them stuff prepped and
just
ready.
Can't help himself.
But no, I can't. But I'm telling you, last night it was cool. You know, everybody's on their phones. These kids come after school. They're dicing up onions. They're firing it into the ground beef. They're making the sauce. And then we had to let it was spaghetti pot, 1 pot spaghetti is what the menu was last night. And then everybody sat down and ate, and then everybody took the box home. And so interaction, a lot of interactivity was great.
I'm so proud of you guys, and really Sarah, because she's doing. You're just really lending your name.
I'm not arguing. There's not an argument for me on that.
That's amazing. Again, where do we go if we want to find out more about this good thing you're doing?
Instagram at Tausch's Camp.
All right, check that out.
We will be at some point putting that video that I took off the show to go and shoot with Abby and the team over here at Fox.
Nice. We look forward to that as well. All right, that is it for us this week. We will be back on Monday. Tausch won't be here, and I'm not allowed to say who's scheduled to appear because he might not appear. So tune in Monday anyway. I'll be here. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial